As the leader of the Booner Path, I lead from the front.
All right, boys. Lock in.
It's our core foundation, man. Grit.
I'm fired up. I'm fired the f*** up, boys.
It's pumping right now. It's got my juice pumping, boys.
Welcome to Crunch Time Sports with Jeff and Booner. It is Thursday, September 25th. We are back. All right, after hitting 15,000 subscribers, which thanks to all of you for making that possible. Let's have a show today. I have to tell you guys too. All right, it's been a little confusing over the last couple of weeks. Flannel Fridays. Now it's Flannel Fridays, sometimes Thursdays. All right, because Flannel is joining today. All right, so Flannel's joining today, 9 o'clock to 9:30. So he'll be joining the show. Shout out to Flannel Sam. We'll get to chop it up with him. We got Chris Castellani joining the show later in the show to talk some Tigers about the historic collapse. We have Lions Browns. We got quotes from Johnny Moe and Calvin Shepard. We got risers and fallers. We got Thursday night football, disgusting game. So you should be watching Crunch Time Sports, but hope everyone's doing well in the chat. Boone, my good friend.
How are we doing?
You know what? I'm fired up about, by the way. It's still in the sports realm. Ryder Cup starts tomorrow, 7 a.m. USA. Bryson DeChambeau. I'm telling you. Bryson DeChambeau.
That was the greatest chant I've ever heard, dude.
I'm fired up, man. I personally love Olympics, and I love the Ryder Cup. I love anything where you get to represent your country. It's the best.
Yeah.
thing.
I just love big golf events. Like, they're thrilling. Like, even the night before, like the Masters, leading up, like the day before, like just watching everything with the Masters and like getting your bets ready for it. And then like for the Ryder Cup, it's the same thing. And it's like, here we go, bro. It's 7 a.m. tomorrow. I'm going to be up usually Mondays and Fridays. I work from home, so I don't get up until a little later, maybe like 7:30ish. I'm up at 6 a.m. tomorrow. Going to have my coffee. And I'm going to be ready to go at 7 a.m. when Bryson DeChambeau tees off in New Jersey. Like, it's in New York, New Jersey. It's like, where else is better? You might be, I've never been to Bethpage Black, but I bet you at some point you could drive within a couple miles around it. And I bet you could see the Lady Liberty out there, Statue of Liberty.
You know what?
Up. Do you know what I'm saying? Does that not fire you up a little bit? It's America, man. I don't have anything on me. I don't have any American. I don't have a flag here or anything. I'm looking. I don't have red, white, and blue. Hey, this guy's about to pull up in a flag, I bet you. This is a big deal here. So this is a country on the line type thing. I don't know where Jeff went.
Hold up.
Oh, he's over there somewhere. I can hear him.
I can't find. I'm trying to look for my USA polo. I can't find it.
Oh, I should have worn like a USA shirt.
Oh, it's devastating.
Oh, that's tough. That's
you know what?
That's tough.
You know what? Tomorrow, I will wear the USA polo.
If I have something USA too, I'll wear it. I'm trying to think of what I have, but I'm sure I have something.
Mike Reed, appreciate it. Crunch Time member for 17 months. By the way, that's
that's literally day one. Mike Reed's day one.
Mike Reed, appreciate that, Mike Reed. Yeah, I gotta get that USA polo. By the way,
I'll get something for tomorrow. Tomorrow's that's a big day, dude. Like, it's massive. It's the Ryder Cup. It doesn't get bigger than that. Like, even these golfers, I don't know if you've watched any of the coverage of it, but all these guys are like, this is the biggest moment in golf. Like, if you're a professional golfer, everything leads up to this. Dude, there's like things going on. They typically, like, these golfers don't get paid. They get money to go to a charity, but they don't get paid. And it's like, I was listening to a show today. They said that the Ryder Cup brings in over $200 million in profit, and these players don't get paid to do it. This year was the first year where the Americans they got presented an offer to make like $200,000 or something, or $300,000, and they accepted it. And the Europeans, bro, you know what they did? They went in the press conference. This is how you know this is like the biggest stage for golfers. They went out in the press conference and they said, yeah, we got offered the same deal. We declined it. It's not about the money. It's about winning. They're like, we want to, and it was just like that's how, like, it's like such a big rivalry and it's such a big moment in golf. Like, there's the Masters, yes, but like the Ryder Cup, it's like you're playing for your country and a team. You don't get that in golf. And these players, like, this is their like number one. If you ask all of them, like, what's your best event? They'd probably go number one Ryder Cup and number two Masters. Like, that's my guess.
Yeah, I mean,
so this is a big deal.
You kidding me? I'm getting 200-300 bands, man. I'll take that. I mean,
Yeah, but these guys make millions. And you know what's funny too is I noticed like a lot of the guys on the Euro team, it's like John Rahm and like Terrell Hatton and like these different guys. Those are the guys that came out and were like, it's not about the money for us. They're the ones that left for live and took money. Like they were like a couple years ago, they were like, it's all about money. Like they literally are in press conferences being like, it's about the money.
Wait, by the way, we got a shout out to Doughboy Steve, sup fellas, member for 6 months. There you go. I'm telling you, these people have been here for a while.
Jeff, we did get some messages about the merch. I don't know. I should probably send those to you unless you already got them.
To me. I'll ship them out tomorrow. So
was Steve one of them? Someone messaged. Hold on.
No, it was Michael, I have them written down. Michael Daly, A Tour, and Common Sense are the 3 winners yesterday.
I got a message from
Day One Gang. Appreciate you, my guy. 17 months, big time.
I got a message from Steve.
Is Common Sense like his account?
I don't know. But I got a message from Steve with a shirt size and an address. Steve, if you're here, if there is a Steve that won, let me know. Unless it's just Steve and he's just trying to get one from us. I don't know.
Is it Steve Lehman?
Did he win?
No. Is it actually Steve Lehman on it?
It says Steve.
Oh, it's different Steve then. Okay.
It's just literally just straight up Steve.
Maybe Common Sense is Steve.
What's going on, by the way? Can I ask the people, someone in the chat might know, what's going on with Central Michigan? Is this like a sensitive topic we should not bring up? Because I just saw Antonio Brown tweet out about Central Michigan. But he said, he tweeted out, he said, like most of Mount Pleasant, Michigan, I'm disgusted by the behavior of Central Michigan University, even more so by the administration. It's not going to change until they quit hiring folks that support this activity. I don't know what happened. I just saw this tweet as I was going to look for.
What does that even mean? I don't know what that means. I don't know what Central Michigan. I don't know what they did. Did they do something? I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe I'm just out of the maybe I'm just out of the loop on it. I don't know. Maybe if AB's tweeting something out, most of the stuff he tweets really doesn't make sense. So I don't know if I would live by that either.
Did you open a message on Twitter today from Good Morning Football?
No.
Someone opened a message this morning from Good Morning Football. It said you accepted the message. They messaged us to use something from us, from our social, and someone accepted it and never responded to them.
Today?
Yeah, I just responded to them. At 7 a.m, someone accepted it, opened it, and never responded.
Well, Good Morning Football?
Yeah.
What was it? I wonder what it was.
The Jack Campbell cut video. I got it from Trevor Nowaski's Instagram, and they were like, "Do you guys own this photo? Can we use it?" I said, "Yeah, I got it from I got it from my boy Trevor. Go ahead and use it." I just messaged them back now. I mean, it might be too late at this point. They probably wanted it this morning. So who opened it? Was it you?
No.
That's Good Morning Football.
Early bets coming in. We got what do we got? Klotz at minus 180. We got
Klotz, it was 100. Klotz was probably at work, opened it up, then put it down and forgot to or Caleb, same thing, probably going to work. I don't know.
I'm gonna lean Caleb in this one. I think I'm gonna lean Caleb slightly on this.
I'm gonna message right now, and you know what? It's gonna be one of those situations where all the boys go, "No, not me."
Who opens a message from Good Morning Football and doesn't respond?
Request from
Good Morning Football. What the hell? I mean, that's
morning.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. We'll talk to Caleb tomorrow too.
I just text the group. Let's see who it was. I bet you all of them just say no, not me, because that's a big mistake. That's a big Good Morning Football. That's a big one.
Yeah,
that's like we don't make those mistakes, especially in the world we're in.
Punchline Sports left Good Morning Football.
We've been on the McAfee show before. Good Morning Football. I mean, we just keep them rolling, but
I mean that's just disgusting behavior. I mean, from that we should be ashamed.
We need to figure out because we would have been on Good Morning Football today.
I mean, that we're just disappointing as a whole. As a team, that's just a tough letdown as a team. I mean, that's just
disappointed, man. There's nothing else to say. That was just poor execution at the end of the day.
All right. Well, I got some quotes here. I want to start with Calvin Shepard.
By the way, bets for the game tonight. Do we want to?
Yeah, give it out just in case anyone wants it.
Hanch said, Jeff, did Boone give you the parlay? Did you take the parlay, Jeff?
I did not.
You can still do it.
Listen, Hanch. Now that I'm face to face with Hanch, let me talk to you for a sec. All
Just
right?
do it. Come on, man.
Boone calls me. You know what, Hanch? I'm not denying your betting abilities. The only leg I didn't like in the parlay is the Trey McBride 6 catches because he's just hit the line. He's just hit it. He's just hit the line, and it worries me. I would rather do his yards. Okay, hate me. I'm sorry, Hanch. Hate me. I would rather do the yards. I'm sorry. The catches scare me a little bit. And if he gets 6 catches or 7 catches tonight, and you hit the parlay, I'll be happy for you. All right. Got a little worried on the catches. I'm not gonna lie to you. But Hanch usually does smack bets, so maybe I'll just place it just because I trust in Hanch. But I got a little skeptical about it. I'm not gonna lie to you. All right. By the way, Caleb said no.
So you're not taking it? You're out? I'm
not taking any parlays tonight. I think I'm just not doing it.
All the boys are saying no. It's either at this point. I'm going back to you, Jeff.
I would have. If I opened up a message, I would have blew the group chat up. We just got messaged by good.
I know. That's why I'm confused, dude. I'm so confused. Everyone said no, but when I just saw it on the thing, I didn't even open it. It was art. You know how like when a Twitter message isn't opened yet, it's like highlighted like black.
Yeah.
It was unhighlighted, not highlighted yet. So someone clicked it and opened it, and it said it already where the message, instead of it having the message, it said you accepted this request. Like in the messages, I didn't even click on it yet, and it said you accepted this request, and it was open.
Gentry? Maybe Gentry got in there and opened it. What if Gentry?
Maybe it was. I don't think he has a login though. I don't think he has the login. Or he does have it, but I don't think he's logged in.
We're gonna find that. This is a company.
This is the second time something's happened on Instagram. There was something with like a collab or something, a change, and I said, "Boys, who did this?" And everyone said no. And I go, "Okay, like I know someone did it." Everyone's saying no. Someone what type of locker room are we running over here at Crunch Time Sports?
Yeah, no accountability.
Someone's got to step up and be like, accountability. Yeah. But if everyone says no, it happened. I mean, we're not living in a world of ghosts.
Hey, Teddy, appreciate the $5. She says, I think you both should send Caleb and Lukas the link. Would make for a really interesting show.
I think we need to interrogate. I mean, this is a big deal, huh?
Yeah, no one wants to take accountability, chat. I mean, I'm just saying. It's just we're gonna have to have a discussion. We'll talk to Caleb tomorrow about it. He's joining the show, so.
And it's not a fake Good Morning Football. They have 667 followers, so I'm guessing it's the right one.
667,000?
Yeah.
Oh, you said 667. So I said
67,000.
Maybe it is fake. Maybe it is fake.
I wonder if they just said screw it and used the photo. I don't know.
Hey, let's get to Kelvin. He talked about he talked about Terran Arnold, Amik Robertson taking some snaps from him, but I do have some more context in this, and Kelvin I thought did a really good job of kind of breaking it down. He's been praising Terran Arnold this week, and I think the important thing for the Lions after Terran Arnold's first couple of games is they're not turning on him. They're trying to be supportive. Keep that belief in him. Dan Campbell, Calvin Shepard. So here's Calvin Shepard talking about that, what Dan Campbell kind of said on 97.1 The Ticket, which got a lot of people talking. But here's Calvin Shepard, Lions DC.
Dan indicated Amik could see a bigger role this week, at outside corner, kind of at Terrion's expense. What are your plans in that regard, and what's kind of held Terrion back to this point, if anything?
Amik has been, let me first start with Amik. Has nothing to do with Terrion's player performance. Let me start there. Amik has always earned his keep with me. I saw it last year. That's a player that's earned the right to be on the field. And just with the frequency of base defense that we're playing right now, he's losing snaps. And to be honest, he's earned more than what he's gotten so far. So we were doing this regardless. Now let's get to TA. It's the same thing I stood in front of the unit and said. Everybody could point the finger at TA, but you know why we were able to knock out the run game? Because he was playing with no help behind him for probably 50% of that game. Now, it's no excuse. It's just the job you signed up for. You signed that contract as a corner in the NFL. You're expected to do that. But let's make no mistake about it. I told D-Line, how would you like to go out there on that island while you guys having fun in here in the box, knowing there's nobody back there? So I want that to be said. It's not like this kid, I'm down on TA or TA's having a bad year. That's not it. We're talking a few plays. But when you play out there, those few plays get exposed and highlighted. a lot more than it does. The interior D-line might have gotten reached 5, 6, 7 times. The same amount of times he's gotten beat on the perimeter, but nobody's putting that in tabloids because it's not seen and exposed like a corner. So it's just growing pains. This kid's very young. I don't know, what is he, 22, 20? He's very young, and he's still in the developmental stages. All we have to do right now is find a way to bring the confidence that we saw when you were out there against Jameson Williams and St. Brown all camp to game day. That's all we got to do, and it's our jobs as coaches to help the player and find a way to get that done.
I mean, I love Calvin, dude. He's I know Steve already put it in there. Shep's a damn open book. AG would have never been this open. Well, I think
pick and choose.
Yeah, he's been. I hate doing the where we have to put down one to pump up the other, but and I don't think Steve's trying to do that. But I'll just speak with Kelvin. He's obviously very open and he's very direct with the media, which I'm sure the media loves. But I want to just make it very clear, I don't think that Amik playing more means TA is forgotten about or they're low on TA either. And I know we talked about it yesterday, but it's interesting because Colton Pouncey actually brought this up today. And honestly, it was damned on us. We should have looked into this more. It's actually interesting. The Lions under Kelvin Shepherd are, especially with the return of Derek Barnes, are playing more 3 linebackers. They're playing 3 linebackers. AG only played 2. So they had a nickel on the field. With Kelvin, they don't have Amik out there as much, but they feel that Amik is such a good player, they need to get him out there more, even though they're running 3 linebackers. So I think it's more of a scheme thing than TA just being this he's just bad. It's not that. I think it's just they have to get Amik Robertson playing more. He's a good
Jeff,
player.
I love how you said that. I mean, you basically literally just said exactly what Shep said. That's literally just, he was like, we're in base a lot, and it takes Amik off the field because we're going 3 linebackers, and it's a tough spot because you have to get a guy like that off the field. So that's where I think it's just more so it's like Amik's playing at a high level. He's right. Amik's earned it, and you're probably essentially just swapping snap counts from Amik to Terrion. Do we know? Where do we find snap counts for the game? Do we have that at all?
Yeah, I can.
Because I'm interested to see Amik's to Terrion's, because obviously Terrion's going to be out there majority of the plays because he's the outside corner. But at the end of the day, it's hey, they're probably just going to swap spots. And when Terrion does come on the field, Terrion's probably moving outside and Amik's going to move to nickel. And then when they do kind of go to that base set, I'm sure Amik's going to stay on the field, go outside, and Terrion's the one coming off now. And they were just doing the opposite before. So there will be some moving around. And maybe that takes a little bit of pressure off a guy. Yeah, look at Amik. Amik played 42% of the snaps, and Terrion played 89. So I would expect that to just flip. I would expect Amik now to be at 89% and Terrion to go down to 25 to 30. That's that, you know what I'm saying? Because they obviously, they've made it clear, and Kelvin Shepherd said it's not on Terrion's play, but Amik's just been that good. And at the end of the day, they want to see Amik out there on the outside, and they want to give him more opportunities. And they said that he's going to be the one when they're in base out there playing outside. So
yeah, and
you would expect those snap counts to switch.
Yeah, I think you're going to find more balance because Amik Robertson, one thing he can do for certain, and I know people have brought up Terrion Arnold playing at nickel, and you actually brought up that he has played nickel before, but I'll tell you one thing. We know as of recent, Amik can play outside. He's done that. I mean, he did it against Justin freaking Jefferson, arguably the best wide receiver in the league, and he held his own. So we know Amik can play outside. He plays nickel.
Yeah.
He's a very good run defender. Terrion Arnold's a very good run defender, but we know for certain Amik can thrive at outside. He's done that. So to his credit, I think it's a good thing. I think it's more about Amik Robertson and how talented he is and versatile he is, then more so it's being about Terrion Arnold and the level of play he's been at this year.
Yeah, it's not like Terrion's getting benched or anything. You're not doing that. I think Shep said it best too in the video, where it's hey, at the end of the day, did we get to the part in there about him talking to man and how no one's behind him? I don't know if we went that far.
Yeah, so
he does give him
he said of the snaps he didn't have,
and that's why I think Shep is so good at his job, because he's not going to sit there and tear a guy down, but he's going to be honest with it, and he does both there, right? He says, hey, we're not going to just put all the blame on Terrion because Terrion has no help, and most of the time, that's not what you want to put your players in position, right? You want to be able to help them and put them in the best positions to succeed. But he also was like, yeah, I'll take some of the blame for that. But also, you still have to step up and do your job. It's the NFL. Like, you just can't, like, if you don't have a safety behind you helping you out, you still have to step up and make a play. Like, you just can't get beaten. You can't penalties. So I kind of like how he has that push and shove a little bit to where, like, hey, he's going to help you out and he's going to help some of these guys out, especially a younger player like Terrion. But then at the end of the day, he's like holding them accountable. Hey, you still have to produce. Like, you can't just sit back and expect us to just go give you excuses. Like, you have to go out there and produce. So I think it might be, honestly, Jeff, I think this is a good thing for Terrion, where it maybe takes a little bit of pressure off him. Like, as a fan base, would you like Terrion to be like a Quinyon Mitchell right away, or like how Sauce was his first 2 years? Yeah, you would love that. He's a first-round draft pick, but he's not there yet. And I don't think that's like a bad thing. Not necessarily we're like, first-round picks don't always in year 1, year 2 just bang like that. Sometimes players have to work into it, and especially at a position like corner, toughest position in football. Yeah, it might take them some time and take some pressure. Find ways. That's what Calvin Shepard said today. Like, our job is to find ways to help these players get better and put them in the best positions to be successful. That's what it feels like they're doing with Terrion. And like you said, it's more so a Meek Robertson's earned this than it is we're benching TA, because that's not what's happening at all.
Yeah, there's gonna be ups and downs. I mean, with any player that's 20, he's 22 years old, so it's playing the hardest position besides quarterback. So I think, can you point out moments where he, especially in the first half, has moments? Of course, but overall, we've stated this. Are we panicking? No, we're not. And the interesting thing is Darius Slay gets brought up, how he was benched in year 2, and then after that started to kind of slowly become Darius Slay. He was actually a year older than Terrion Arnold is right now. He was 23 in his second year. Terrion's 22 in his second year. So he's even younger by a year than Darius Slay was in his second year. So he is, I know people forget about that, but Calvin brought it up. He's like, what is he, 21, 22 years 22. Old? I mean, he still has a lot of growing to do. Again, not that you expect, I mean, I'm sure Calvin, they expect improvement, but game 2 of his second year and what they're asking him to do, I think you got to be a little more patient. That's why I hate that. Personally, I don't like the Jeff Okudah stuff. I never liked it. I think it's unfair because Jeff Okudah, you knew he couldn't play, man. Like, you knew he couldn't play. Like, there was never a training camp where Jeff Okudah, everyone was saying this dude's locking down Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jameson Williams. Like, that was never, or not, they weren't there, but you get my point. Like, those caliber receivers. He wasn't doing that training camp.
That's why, like, with Shep, like, and this is why I think people, like, we've had these conversations, we've had people put in the comments or in the live chat, like, you guys were hyping up TA in camp. Shep said it today. Like, Shep was like, to the media, he was like, we're trying to get him his confidence where he was back when in training camp when he was guarding Amon-Ra and J-Mo. And like Shep literally word for word said that and was like, we just need to figure out how to get that to the game. So there is a world where it's like, hey, he looked very good. Like, I didn't just go out on a limb this offseason and being like, hey, there's a chance at the end of this season people looking at Terrion Arnold as CB1. Like, that wasn't just like based off of, I feel like sometimes when we say stuff, especially in the offseason, people think we're just saying it just to have a hot take. No, it's like there's observations and like actual, like, hey, we saw him in person 5 or 6 times this offseason, and every time he looked good. Every time. And from all reports of people that we know that are there more than us, the Doc, Jeremy Reisman, Corey, Colton, they're all like saying the same stuff. Like, I don't think people understand, like, it wasn't all made up. Like, Terrion looked really good in camp. And I think it's just more so like, how do you get him to have that confidence on Sundays? You have to figure that out, and he has to figure that out too.
Yeah, well, he also spoke, Calvin, about the quarterback spy. So let's take a listen. I've been waiting on this one. Love this.
Going in a half, but we must be better, and we will be better. And then the elephant in the room, Justin finally got to me, guys, if anybody was wondering. It took him 4 years. But he finally convinced me. So, yeah, I knew that was coming, but Justin gave me a call last week and said, you got to do this, man. So we did it. So that's out the way. All right, let's move forward to Cleveland.
I know you love my statistics when I throw them out there, but 34 pressures, 7 sacks.
Yeah, well, what's funny? He actually mentioned how Casey Rogers influence?
Yeah, it's the next question after that one. That was just, it's like the direct one. Someone asked like, hey, were you joking around about that? And he goes like Casey Rogers. And he also said, you know what he said? Said he watched tape of Matt Milano versus the Chiefs like 3 years ago, like 2021 or 2022. And he said that was where he got the idea of it as well.
Well, let me see. Actually, I want to pull it up.
I think it was the next question, if I remember correctly. I think it was directly after.
Let's see.
It's so interesting. I have a take on it. I don't know if people have a thought on it.
So
You
it's
got
it would be basically after the Shep talking about fans, how they hear him online and stuff. Is that what they're? I'm
Probably, yeah.
All
My guess.
Let's finish this one. I think it's after this.
And they hear you loud and clear that we only have one pass rusher here.
Oh, wait, pause.
They hear you
let's
loud and
play
clear
this.
when you say we only got
Let's
close.
not waste this clip. That's a good clip.
All right, let me see. I'll go back and watch it.
Yeah, these guys.
A little bit the way they did in terms of the pass rush specific.
This is such a
these
good
guys
clip.
hear you all. That's what I would say. This isn't the old school days of, block out the noise. That sounds good. These guys hear you all. They're on their phones all day. There's constant, and they hear you loud and clear that we only have one pass rusher here. They hear you loud and clear when you say we only got close to Jordan Love 2 times. And these guys take pride in their profession. It's why it's a joy to coach these guys. It's a joy to be able to do what I do every day because these guys take pride in what they do. The level of detail they've shown just week to week in wanting to know the whys. Why are we doing this? Why are we setting this up this way? And then being able as a coach to give them the complete vision. So then they're like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then you buy in that belief, and these guys are all in. You see the effort these guys play with. I told you from day one. Look at number 96. Take away ability, take away everything. Let's talk about effort. Now, that's a collective unit now, all playing like that. So now if you don't play like that, you're the anomaly and you're the odd man out. So if we can continue to build on the things that we've done, I think we can continue to play up to the standard of our defense, which, let me remind you all, we still have yet to play up to. We still have yet to play up to. I told the unit, the last thing I addressed moving forward to Cleveland was, can we please come in on Monday and say we made them earn everything? Because I want to see what that looks like. I want to see what it looks like when we make the other opponent have to earn their keep because we've yet to do that. So these guys understand that, and I believe we'll have that moving forward.
Was that a QB spy joke there at the end of the day?
We can get to that after, because I want to just break down what he's talking about now because the QB spy thing, he probably goes into it more after that. But I think it's very well known how much these players are on social media. Like they see, like we have players that follow Crunch Time that we post things, clips, or opinions that they're probably going to see at some point. I'm sure they follow other outlets in Detroit that post things, how fans feel. They have stuff in their algorithm they see. They're just like normal humans that check Twitter, Instagram, whatever it is, and they see all the stuff Lions fans are talking about when it comes to pass rushers. But that's like life of the athlete. It's like what Marcus Davenport brought up when they asked him, and he talked about him being forgotten. Like he sees all the stuff too, and people bring up how injured he is. Like his family sees all that stuff too. It's like, that's why when you see, and obviously it's a little different when J-Mo's brother calls out TA. I'm sure they definitely see that stuff a little.
I'm sure that was addressed at some point.
Yeah, I'm sure that was definitely addressed. But yeah, I love Calvin's transparency. I love how transparent he is. Because actually, funny enough, Calvin's very active on social media. He has his Instagram. He has his Twitter. He's a little younger. But yeah. I think what he's saying. I love how Calvin can kind of break that down because I think AG's a little more old school. Like he's more like, screw it, man. Like, they don't pay attention to any of that shit. Calvin's a little more like, listen, man. Like I'm on social media. These guys are on social media. They see the DN2 stuff, bro. I mean, don't think like
Marcus Davenport, all of these guys do. I'm sure Brad Holmes has I know for a fact, actually, Brad Holmes has some type of social media for a fact. Like he saw my video a couple years ago and showed it to Dan Campbell. So he's obviously scrolling somewhere. Yeah. Right. Like Brad is out there scrolling. Like these guys are locked in, especially in today's world. Like as much as people want to be like, I'm not on social media. Like, no, you are. And majority, you see guys post all the time. Like these guys are active. Hutch is active, Davenport active. Like these guys are very Mekhi Wingo. He follows us. He reached out to like Mekhi Wingo, very active. And no one would think, no, Mekhi Wingo, I don't ever see him post. No, he does. He's hit us up. Like these guys are very active and they see what fans say. That's why I think it's crazy.
Derek Barnes going at
Derek Barnes with Klotz. Like it happens. And whether like again it affects them or not, I do think Shep's like right into a sense to where, hey, especially after week 1, and I don't think players like I know Derek Barnes with the Klotz saying like there's been CJ Garner-Johnson with Easy, like there's been players that have gone at people like us who do this thing, or they go at fans and you see back and forths all the time. I do think majority, like 90% of these guys, I think 90% of them, they see it, but they don't take it to heart because they know, like after week 1, like you're going to get criticism. That was the worst week of all time. You know what I'm saying? Like it was the worst. Like you have to know what you're going to get and you have to expect it. You would be worried if fans and people in media didn't have a negative thing to say after you. You'd be like, what's going on? So like, that they saw it and that they're like, okay, we need to prove these guys wrong. Like we got to turn it up a notch. So I guess it's just like, I like how Shep addresses it, because you could have coaches and players who like hate the media or hate fans because of it. But instead, like a guy like Shep is like understanding and he's like, no, we see it all. We know, like we're in the building ourselves and we understand we have to be better. Like we're right there with you. Like what you're tweeting out, we're thinking the same thing. Like,
yeah.
How do you have 0 sacks versus the Packers? Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Sacks
2 pressures.
Sacks are one thing. Yeah. They had no pressure, really pressure.
Yeah. So like, that they all see it and they understand it too. They're not oblivious, and they've all been fans before and they understand, the pressure's there. So I like how Shep like actually though will address it like that.
Yes.
Not a lot of coaches do.
Yeah. Super transparent, which he's got a lot of that. You see, I know it's just press conferences, so you get like a kind of a limited view of kind of the person, but we know enough behind the scenes to know that he's a hell of a leader. He does demonstrate head coach quality. He does have that presence to him, especially talking to the media. Very transparent, very direct. That's what I respect. I respect Calvin a lot, to be honest. He's very good at what he does. And he dove into the quarterback spy thing, which here's the thing. This is one of my favorite things about Calvin Shepard is his adaptability and his open-mindedness. He's very, I think some defensive coordinators, and I'm not saying this about AG, I'm just speaking in general, are very stubborn. Actually, not defensive coordinators, coaches in general, very stubborn to their ways. If they believe something, it's a wholehearted belief. They're not really willing to adapt. But there are some guys that are like, hey, I'm willing to adapt. I'm willing to try stuff. Yeah. And Calvin tried the quarterback spy thing. And I know he joked with Justin Rogers, but he kind of dove into it more about how he came to finally decide to do it. And it's a great backstory. So let's take a listen to that.
True, is that what I was hearing?
No, I'm serious. She finally got to me.
I am curious about that. Like, how have you evolved your thinking in that play? Because you kind of expressed your hatred of it there in 2022. So I'm curious, like how you've changed, because it worked obviously really well in that game.
When it comes to schematics, if you guys haven't figured out, I rarely give that information out. So I wouldn't believe much that I ever say about schematic things in public. And I'm serious about that. I've had that folder built for 3 years. And a lot of the examples is Matt Milano 3 years ago at Kansas City and the things he did to Patrick Mahomes. So it was a fine line of trying to incorporate some of that, but within what we do here. Like, that's why it was so hard on them. It's not because of a spy, guys. It's because we're making everything look the same. And when you do that, it's impossible to know who's coming, who's the spy, who's in coverage. So we were able, collective effort, credit to Casey Rogers. He did some of this stuff down in Tampa, and it married really well with our game plan. And when I say that, I mean rush and coverage. So when you're sending pressure from the same looks that you're dropping out of, and now you incorporate a spy within all this, it's very hard on the offense. It's something kind of trying to get the PM back. It's something that the offense has been doing to defenses the last 2-3 years. Motions, getting you in certain formations, dictating the coverages. So that's all we try to do. And again, it's nothing without the players, man. These guys are making it really hard on the opposing quarterbacks right now.
Dude, this guy. I'd say the quarterback spy thing is so interesting. The way he was kind of describing it too, like they're sending 6 and then, leaving Derek Barnes to quarterback spy. And then there's other times where, they're sending 5, someone else is in coverage, and then they have another quarterback spy. And you don't know who the spy is. Like at times it was Derek
interesting,
Barnes.
dude. It's so
at times
good.
It was Derek Barnes. Other times they didn't have a quarterback spy, and sometimes it was someone else. Like it could be.
I saw online today that they had a backup spy at times.
Yeah, dude, it's like the complexity of defensive scheme. And Lamar Jackson, that dude's been the way he's been playing over the last couple of years, like he's reading defenses just easy. And then he sees that defense, and you could tell there were times where things would come a little easier. But there's a lot of the time against the Lions where you could see that the reason why he stayed in the pocket is because the coverage was really well, but also because he doesn't know what's going on.
You could tell he was shook. He was like, I've never seen this before.
Yeah, this is and then Calvin pulls out the 3 years ago Matt Milano film.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Yeah, what a
okay. This is my thought with this whole thing. I have a theory. If how many years have we been like pushing for the spy for?
Oh, this has been a thing.
2 years,
maybe even more. I mean, AG since they've been facing mobile quarterbacks.
And how many times has AG ever used a spy?
0. He's never used one.
First game without AG and first game with Shep. The first game versus a mobile quarterback. Shep, this is the first mobile quarterback. Shep, you could say Caleb Williams, but like legit, like Lamar Jackson, like will kill you on the ground. And Shep goes, "We're using a spy," and what happens? It works. And this is something for years that people have been saying, like, "Hey, other teams do it. The Bills do it. The Chiefs do it. The Eagles do it." Some reason for years, AG refused to do it. I don't know if it was like him just being like, I don't want to give in to the people. I don't know what it was. But Shep, his first game versus like a MVP quarterback, you know what he does? He goes, screw it. We're doing it. Like, I don't care. And first game as a DC versus a guy like Lamar Jackson. That right there, I think, should show you a little bit with Shep, man. Because it's true, dude. Like, for years, we went up against Lamar, no spy. We've gone up against Josh Allen, no spy. Patrick Mahomes, no spy. Like, we can keep going down the line here. Nothing. At least try it, right? Like, if you're losing to the Ravens by 20 at halftime, hey, maybe we should just try it. Let's throw it in. See what happens.
Yeah. And he's willing to adapt. And Casey Rogers, I don't know if people forget this, he was a defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Like, he's a defensive line coach, but he's
worked under one of the best defensive minds in the NFL.
Yeah. So he's probably looking at Calvin like, he's a new face too. He wasn't here with AG. So he's coming over to probably talking with Calvin like, hey man, these are some things we're probably talking. Yeah, it's and Calvin's
this is what Todd Bowles does to stop these guys. I'm just saying. And he's done a very good job in his career doing it.
Really good job at it. Did you hear Johnny Morton he made headlines today? I
watched the Shep one. I did not get the Morton interview today.
Browns Twitter hates this guy. Literally, or not hate. Well, yeah, they hate this guy.
Really?
Because of his comment about the run game. He said Cleveland hasn't seen a rushing attack like we have.
Oh, I heard that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And Browns fans, dude, they've been like, oh, that's like roasting Johnny Mo. There's not really much to roast about him. I mean, they've been an elite offense, but they're just like, oh, this guy's an idiot, whatever. And I got a clip here. I want to show after I show this tweet that Jeremy put out because it gives context to how right John Morton actually is, to be honest, about his statement. But I actually have Jim Schwartz's response to it because they asked. Oh,
no way!
I found this. Yeah, they asked Jim Schwartz about his comment, and Jim Schwartz is a little. He was pretty. I'll just show the video. But here's what Jeremy tweeted. Jeremy's tweet here gives some context. So Johnny Mo, just to give the actual quote so I don't mess it up, Lions OC John Morton praised the Browns defense to give credit, right? So I don't want to say it's all negative, but he also said, I don't think they've seen a run game like us yet. That's what he said, which that's got to fire the boys up, man. Johnny Mo he's talking shit. And Browns opponents, Jeremy put this out, Browns opponents by run offense, DVOA ranking, Bengals 32nd. We know the Bengals can't really run the ball though. Ravens 21st. They haven't been that great this year, to be honest. They were the number one rushing attack last year, but the O-line's been a little shaky. Packers 20th. Lions 2nd. So based on the data, Johnny Mo is kind of right. All right. He's it might sound like he's trash talking, but he's actually preaching facts. I mean, they have not faced a rushing attack with the 2 running backs and the O-line blocking the way they're blocking right now. I mean, and I know Jim, I'll play the clip of Jim responding to the comment, but it's a whole like 13-minute press conference, but he did say, someone asked him in the press conference, which I don't have that clip, but someone asked him, Jim, you don't really engage much in this trash talk, like back with coaches, like that's not really your thing. And he responded with, at the end of the day, the players win the game. We don't. So he's like, I'm not going to say anything. I think he was kind of taking like, not a shot, but like a subtle shot. Like, I don't say that because the players win the game. We don't have anything to do with the game. The players will decide that. Like, I don't need to say anything. He's a little bitter. But here's him being directly asked.
I want to hear Jim Schwartz. I want to hear this.
It's a little quiet, but it's because someone recorded it. But I'll see if I can turn up the volume, make sure you guys can hear it. But yeah, he was, look at his face in the video. Here's Jim Schwartz on that.
We faced some good running offenses. Green Bay was running the ball really well, so was Baltimore. Cincinnati is passing offense, so it's one of the major things we have to do is stop the run. 2 different running backs. You got to protect your edges. You got to defend all 53 and third, particularly with Gibbs. And then there's a lot of passes that are just extension of the run game, a lot of screen game, a lot of quicks. Even the checkdowns are sort of an extension of the run game. So our ability to play run defense, our ability to tackle in the open field, that's a major part of this game plan going forward.
He didn't draw back. Kept it PG.
Yeah, I thought Jim Schwartz. There was something inside me that Jim Schwartz was going to hit him back with you haven't seen a run defense like ours.
No,
that's what I thought he was going to hit back with. That's what I would have said.
Well, he started it. He started it with, we face good run attack. Like, that's not correct. Like, he kind of checked it, but he's like, Green Bay's got a pretty good running attack. The Baltimore Ravens got a pretty good running attack. It's like, yeah, but I think collectively, offensive line and both running backs, it's a little different. It's hard to game plan for those guys because what they did against Derrick Henry and it worked. They sold out on the run. That's what they did against the Browns. The Ravens. They stacked the box. They wanted to stop Derrick Henry, and they did, right? But what did Lamar do? 4 touchdown passes, 40 points. Like,
that's where I think this game. I think there's an issue with the Browns defense to where, okay, we're gonna run the ball on you. Like, we're gonna like the Lions are a team that they're going to run the ball, even if it's bad. They're going to get their run in so they can set up play action. If you're stopping the run in any aspect, they are going to turn around and put Jared Goff in a position to cut you up in the secondary because you have to load the box up to stop the run, right? Like, you have to get extra guys in the box if you do want to stop Demon. Because at the end of the day, all right, Jim Schwartz, I haven't watched their games, but what are they doing? Like, are they just not loading the box up and they're stopping the run still just because their front guys, their defensive line's that good? Okay, if it is, you're not doing that versus the Lions because this O-line has been moving people. Right, like they have been dominating defensive lines, and not just like bums. Like, obviously Myles Garrett and Mason Graham, that shift guy just put in there. That's a tough that's a tough front to go up against. But you still have Penei Sewell, right? You still have Tate, who's been playing at a high level. Christian Mahogany's been playing good. Taylor Decker's been playing the best football we've seen in a couple of years, in my opinion. So you have these guys playing. They're gonna move them. You have no choice if you do want to stop the run. To just stack the box up. You have to at the end of the day. So and if you do that, they're going to put Jared Goff in a position with Amon-Ra and Sam Laporta and JMO. You're going to get cooked. So it's just that's why this offense is so good. It's because you could stop one, you're not stopping the other. Or you could stop the other, you're not stopping this one. It's a tough position to be in.
No, it actually is pick your poison. I mean, that's the problem. Lamar Jackson dissected that defense because they sold on the run. And if the Lions, if you sell on the run, good luck. They have more options. They have more weapons than the Ravens. Like Amon-Ra St. Brown, they don't have that on the Ravens. They don't have a Sam Laporta. They don't have a Jameson Williams. They have a collection of decent pass catchers. Like Zay Flowers, I would say, is a good player. DeAndre Hopkins, a good player. But the Lions have the best collection of weapons.
All-around offense.
Yeah.
I think too, like a lot of people will be like, well, the Packers did it. I think the Packers defense is good. And I've said this, I think it's a top 5 defense in the NFL when they're playing at a high level. I do think there was an aspect of that Packers game where it was week 1. And the biggest thing was that O-line. Like the O-line just wasn't good. The Lions wasn't. And if this O-line is just 80% on Sunday, their offense is going to be humming, and that's what it is. And obviously, week 1 versus the Packers, they were horrible because they gave no protection to Jared Goff, and they couldn't move they couldn't move a phone booth. I don't even know what a saying would be for that. They couldn't move a piece of paper on their desk if they wanted to. Like they couldn't do anything. So at the end of the day, it was like that's such an anomaly to where even if they play half of that and play 50%, you're not going. This offense still will put up 28 on you.
It's different. It's a different game than the Packers versus the Browns. It's so much different. Like the Packers didn't have their arguably number 1 and 2 wide receiver. They didn't have
Jaden Reed.
They don't have Jaden Reed. You know what I'm saying? They're on the road. It's a little different. The Lions are at home. They have all their weapons. They're relatively healthy, and their offensive line's playing at a very high level right now. Do I respect the Browns defense? Absolutely. I respect Jim Schwartz. I think he's one of the best defensive coordinators in the league. I'll give you a hint. I don't have the Lions dropping 40 on the Browns, but I think offensively it's not going to be I don't see an ugly type of game. Like I don't see that like a 13-10 instead of a loss for the Lions like the Packers did. It'll be a win for the Lions 13-10. I don't see that. This is going to be hard to stop this Lions offense. I'll tell you one thing. You're not going to hold this Lions team to 10 points. You're just not, man.
No, that's why I think like this, it's like, it's hard to be like, hey, no, yeah, this Browns team's going to be able to beat the Lions. Can they score 20-something points?
They got to.
I don't know if they can. Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco, one of the only quarterbacks just slower than Goff. He's a statue, dude. Like an absolute statue. You don't have to QB spy Joe Flacco. He's going to be back there.
You can send 4 and you're probably getting home.
Yeah, and because their offensive line's banged up. Their offensive line's banged up too. People don't talk about that. Their
Hutch might have a field day.
Both their tackles are hurt. One of them, Jack Conklin, might play, but DeJuan Jones, the Ohio State dude, he's like 6'8". He's hurt. So they got injuries. Like Joe Flacco, our fellow Dago, fellow Italian, you better hold on, man, because Aiden Hutchinson and AQM, by the way, back at practice, he had a knee sleeve. So,
yeah, he'll be fine.
So that's good news too. Before we get Flannel on, I want to do a segment we meant to do yesterday. We didn't have time to do it yesterday. What were you going to say?
You want to hit an ad real quick?
You know what, Booner? I absolutely do want to hit an ad. And you know what? So allow me to tell you about our friends over at Comer & Cross and their concrete floor coatings, because I know you're sick and tired of staring at that crack-stained garage floor. Or even worse, peeling epoxy, chipped paint, making your whole garage look neglected. So call the number, 248-834-3488. 248-834-3488. Comer & Cross, they transform patios, pool decks, basements, even driveways. And guess what? They move the stuff out for you. They take care of their customers. So call the number, 248-834-3488, or book your free estimate at comercross.com. All right. Let's get back to the show. Shift God says your king might not play Jeff Shadur. He might. We'll see what happens with Joe Flacco. I don't root for injuries, but he's better hold on, man. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be tough.
Joe Flacco might not play?
No, I'm just saying, depending on what protection looks like. They might.
Yeah.
I don't root for anyone. I'm not pulling a flannel. I'm a flannel.
No, Dylan Gabriel's up next after your king.
Good.
Or before your king.
Throw him to the Wolves. Dylan Gabriel. Risers and Fallers, Detroit Lions edition. All right, I want to talk about this because yesterday, like I said, we went to do it, but we ended up getting to some good combos. We had the doc on. We didn't have time, so we moved it to today. Detroit Lions, Risers and Fallers. We'll start with Risers, and then we'll get to Fallers. All right. Or should we do Fallers and get to Risers? Are you a good news before the bad news guy, or are you the bad news before the good news guy?
I guess the bad news first.
I'm a bad news before the good news.
Yeah, I just want to get it out of the way so I can comprehend it. You know me, though, sometimes, dude, sometimes I get a little rattled. So if I get bad news, I might not even hear the good news. Do you know what I mean? Like, I might just be like, like you get hit by a flash grenade, and it's just like all the ringing, like, and it's like all blurry. I hate it with the bad news, and it just gets me with that real quick. And then it's like the good news comes in. I'm like, you got to say it again.
See, that's fair. Well,
but I do like the bad news first. Okay. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off. Terrion Arnold, Faller.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
all right.
I mean, who else on this team's a faller besides Terron Arnold? I feel like this
Yeah.
team's like, since week one, this team's like this. The only player that's been like this is TA, which I hate because I love TA, man. And I thought TA was going to have a big year. So far, not there.
I think that might be the only one. I mean,
Is there anyone else in the chat? Like, throw in there if there's another faller. But I don't.
I would say faller because of unfortunately.
I got one, Hendon Hooker.
Well, I mean, you could use him repeatedly. I would say Davenport getting injured again.
Oh, that's fair, but he didn't play, so when he did play, he wasn't bad.
The injury, just the based off injury, and AQM basically taking his spot. You know what I'm saying? I would say Davenport.
That's fair. You know what? That's actually very fair.
Tough for him, man. Tough for him. But yeah, those are probably the only two. I'm trying to think of guys that struggled in week one bounced back. So it's like tough. Like you can't say Tate. Like Tate's been playing really well. So it's like he's actually rising.
Yeah. Graham has played good.
Yeah, like most guys actually have improved from week one. Like even I see who did Cartier said Tesla. Like I know he just hasn't really gotten targets to even really.
Yeah, it's hard. He had 2 this last game, but the one was just like a throw where he had no chance, and then the other one, it was just a great defensive play at the end of the day that got broken up.
Yeah, it's tough. It really is. Well, we can get to risers. It's probably more relevant. There's a lot more risers.
There's a bunch. I mean, who do you want to go with? You want to start defense?
Actually, I'm gonna be honest. Gibbs, faller. He has not been the Gibbs of not yet, at least. He has not. He's still been solid, but like the Ravens game, I think he got like 3 yards a carry.
Can we say what it is with Gibbs? Gibbs is a top 3 back in the NFL. Me and you tried to warn people for 3 months. Stop setting your expectations that this guy's going to win Offensive Player of the Year. It will not happen on this offense. I didn't know how else to tell the people, but everyone in the city, I heard every single radio show in the world say it. I heard every fan be like, he's winning Offensive Player of the Year. Put it in your parlay. Take him straight up. He never was. You have D-Mon on the team. That was why all offseason I was trying to tell the people, D-Mon. All me and you got was 70-30, 80-20. Like, come on, dude. It was never happening.
Yeah, well, I would just say based on those people's expectations, if you expected Offensive Player of the Year, he has not quite been that yet, but he'll be fine. That's why you have
skill-wise, he's one of the best in the league still. Like the talent and
super
like he's top 3. If he was on a team where he was getting every carry, he would be Offensive Player of the Year by a mile. But he's just not. And could have seen it coming from a mile away.
Yeah, well, Brian Branch, I know someone put it, he dropped a pick. Brian's been I would say Brian
incredible, dude.
He hasn't been a faller, but I would say that Ravens game did not his best game, but the prior 2 games he was pretty good. So I'm not going to say he's a faller because
Brian's been incredible. Brian now is an all. He would be if the season ended today, he would be an all-pro safety.
Yeah, he hasn't been that to the point where you could say he's been a faller. But who's a riser for you? Who do you want to start off with? Who's your guy? Because I got a couple names here down. There's a lot you could have went with, so I don't think there's too many wrong answers.
Do we want to go offense or defense?
Well, let's do that. Good idea. We can start offense, and we'll go defense after.
So offensively, I'm going to stay away from the stars. I want to give credit. And can you do me a favor, Jeff? Do you have PFF up on your screen there?
Yes.
Can you look this player up for me once you do it? Because I want to see where he ranks amongst tackles. I should have done it. I don't have PFF on my computer logged in. I'm going to give credit to Taylor Decker. I think Taylor Decker this season so far, after a bad week from the whole offensive line week 1, I feel like the weeks 2 and 3, Taylor Decker, you haven't heard his name much, and I keep seeing all these graphics and people keep throwing out there PFF and 33rd team. The 2 highest rated tackles, Taylor Decker and Panay Sewell this last week. So I'm gonna go. I could easily go Graham or Tate or this or that. I'm gonna give Taylor Decker some credit this last week. This man's been week 3. He was incredible versus the Ravens. And the fact too, he's just holding up. I know he's been beaten up, injured over the last couple of weeks, and he just keeps pushing.
Yeah, I would say, and I have it right here, Taylor Decker, and I think even with you got to think he's battling a shoulder injury too.
Yeah, for 2-3 weeks now.
But he's so apparently PFF has him as a top 23rd ranked tackle, but his pass blocking grade's top 18.
20. Yeah, that's exactly what we've been wanting from him. Last year, he was tough. He was brutal. And I think, honestly, I think he's better in the run game than 41st. I know we take PFF with a grain of salt. I think he's way better than 41st. Yeah, with week 1. I bet you if you looked at, can you see his grades by week?
Yes, I think. Premium
stats.
Let me see. Snaps on offense. Yeah, right here. Let me pull it up. Let me get this off the screen. We can look at it.
Because I'm interested to see like his run blocking grade in weeks 2 and 3, his pass blocking grade. He had a 72. So like this last week, 82.9 offensive grade. Look at his run blocking grade in week 3, 84. Look at that improvement. Run blocking 36, 62, 84. You're talking about a riser. I mean, how else do you want to rise there?
Yeah,
and went from a 55 to a 69 to an 83 essentially. That's incredible, dude. That's incredible.
Yeah, he deserves the love, man. Taylor Decker's been very, very solid.
Everyone hates on him when he has a bad game, but when he has a good game like he did on Monday night, no one says a peep. Not a word.
That's how you want it. It's like corner. If you don't hear like DJ Reed, you didn't hear anything. That's how you like it with your tackle, especially. I think a riser, I'll just get an easy one. This is a layup, man. David Montgomery. He's been incredible. He's 6th in the NFL in rushing yards. He's 3rd in the NFL in touchdowns. I mean, he has more all-purpose yards than Jahmyr Gibbs, which is crazy. And he's coming off 150 yards
rushing
on 12 carries. 12 carries. He averaged 12.6 yards a carry. That's the highest, I think, yards per carry he's ever averaged in his career in a game. That's insane. Insane. Had a 72-yard run. So David deserves love. He's been incredible. And he honestly is one of the most underrated running backs. And I know people put him in that power back category. He is not that. He is a very complete back. He barely drops passes. If he's targeted out the backfield, he does not drop passes. So you can't just say he's a power back. He can catch the ball. He can go between the tackles. He can go outside. I mean, he's maybe not Jahmyr Gibbs with speed, but he's a bully. And he's got agility. So he's not just a power back. So shout out to David Montgomery, man. That's an easy riser.
Easy. Honorable mention, Tate.
Yeah, I have Tate actually next. I think Tate Ratledge only getting better. I mean, he's been really good.
Was there anyone else or just those 3? I think everyone else, in my opinion, living up to expectations.
Yeah, I think. And then on defense, I can start on defense and give out. I think another pretty easy one, DJ Reed. I'll go DJ Reed. He's a riser.
What?
Yeah. It's not. I'm not ranking them, but one of them would be DJ Reed for sure.
Oh, okay. I was say number.
Yeah, number AQM obviously.
AQM has to be number 1. I mean, it's incredible. 3.5 sacks through 3 games.
Yeah, like I'm not ranking him. I just want to because I knew you were probably going to go AQM, so I'll go DJ Reed. He played shutdown last game against the Ravens. First 2 games struggled a little bit. We knew that wasn't the DJ Reed of his career. And against the Ravens, he held Zay Flowers to like 2 catches. I mean, he was incredible. You didn't hear his name. He eliminated Zay Flowers out of the game. So DJ Reed is only getting better, and he's been a cornerback 1. He's turning into it. So it's a good time for the Lions. It's right when they need him. So DJ Reed.
Yeah, I'm going to go AQM though. I like the DJ Reed one. I think he's been good, but I think AQM, I think we all know the 3.5 sacks through 3 games. He's been impressive. He's only gotten better too. And I think he's the definition of a riser, being the fact that week 1, what did he have? Like 15 snaps, not even less than 20 snaps. And then his snap count just each week has increased and increased and increased. And every time it increases, you just get more production out of him. Even if he wasn't getting sacks, like he's putting pressure on. I don't know how great he's been in the run game, but more so just getting to the quarterback, especially versus a guy like Lamar. To get 2.5 essentially versus a guy like Lamar is incredible. So you have to give, hats off to that guy. I also want to throw out, can you give Jack Campbell something?
Yeah, he's another riser. Absolutely.
Right. He's
been dude, like coming off last game. Yeah, that's kind of how I looked at DJ Reed. It's like Jack a little up and down, and then he just keeps going. Now he's on his uptick now. Like he had a complete game against the Ravens. I mean, the guy's playing with half a lip. I mean, he's making plays with half a lip out there.
Great. Did you hear the whole story and the breakdown of it? How he was like, I thought I just bit my tongue and I was tasting blood. And then he was like, I didn't even know I cut my lip. And And then he said he goes to the sideline and they're like, you got to come in the blue tent. And he said he didn't know it was open until they started like pushing it together. And he said if he could just feel it, how weird it was. And he was like, oh, this must be pretty serious. And they're like pushing it together. He got 8 stitches too.
Tough as nails, man.
And he's still going to play this week.
Yeah, tough as nails. He's been really good. I mean, just the front side. Derek Barnes is another one, man. Like Derek Barnes been for the linebacker crew is just in general are all risers. I know Anzo's been a little more steady, but Derek Barnes, like
Trevor Nowaski.
Dude, throw Trevor in there.
Played 9 snaps and made an impact.
Calvin just came out. He came out in his press conference and said, I told Brad, I need this guy.
Yeah.
I need for Derek Barnes.
And then after you hear what he said also Trevor Nowaski. He said Trevor's right there with him. And I was like,
another Sam, because they play those 3. I'm telling you, the 3 linebackers.
He can play every position. Those 2 can play every position. And he even said with Derek Barnes, he's like, he can play all 3 linebacker positions. We can throw him at the edge. He said there's even times where it looks like he's out there playing nickel at times. And then he was like, Trevor Nowaski's the same way. Like we can throw him anywhere we want, and he won't complain, and he'll go out there and get the job done at an extremely high level. And both of those guys, like those are 2, that's valuable guys. And you still have like what happens when Malcolm Rodriguez comes back? Like you can't cut Zach Cunningham or Trevor.
It might
have
to be Zach Cunningham, which I don't know. I don't agree.
But Zach, did you see the play versus Derrick Henry on 3rd down at the 1? He's the one that does it, and then he had another one too later in the game. So it's just like, I actually brought this up when we were doing the 53-man roster, and you were like, we were talking about the linebackers. I don't know if you remember this. And I was like, I think there's a world right now. What do they have? 6 right now? Anzo, Barnes, Jack, Zach, and Trevor. Oh, 5. They have 5. Oh, and Grant Stewart, 6. I think there's a chance. I said it when we did the 53-man. I think they just keep 7, and they cut someone else on the team. And they find time. And some of these guys are just special teams.
It's a deep linebacker room.
It's hard to just walk away from some of those guys, though. They're that good.
Because Malcolm is a better special teamer than Zach Cunningham.
Yeah,
so
but you got Grant Stewart, too.
Because getting Grant Stewart can play, that's a tough decision. Because Zach's been playing really well for a vet. He brings a lot of experience, too, which obviously Malcolm doesn't have. But Malcolm's Malcolm's a good player, too.
I would say Grant or Zach Cunningham has stood out more so as a rotational piece on defense than Grant has, because I don't remember.
No, he's not playing really at all. To be honest.
Yeah, I'm sure Grant played a little, but I just don't remember
like the preseason a lot.
Yeah, I just don't remember an impact. I know on special teams he's the captain on special teams. So
yeah, Grant. I mean, he's out there. I mean, they're thinking about him returning kicks at times, dude. Like
he was, and then he fumbled, bro, multiple times.
Yeah, he had the butt fumble out there. So it's.
And then at camp, he fumbled. I don't know if you were there that day or if that was the day you were gone. But at camp, he ran it back, and then he fumbled in camp versus during a joint practice. It was just like, this is not good. And then they were like, we have full trust in him. I'm like, dude, what?
Shout out. Before we have our special guest on, I do have to tell you about our friends over at Sleeper, because if you do not use Sleeper, what are you doing? You should be using Sleeper for their fantasy sports app, which we are in the midst of fantasy football season. Hopefully you guys are all having winning records, but Sleeper Fantasy is the best. It's one of the fastest organic growing fantasy platforms in the world. Millions of users on the platform, and they still earn some of the highest levels of engagement per user in the industry. At Sleeper, it's not just about sports. It's about building personal connections and lasting memories. And you have Sleeper Picks as well, which is another great tool on the app. Real money product that connects friends over picks. You just choose 2 to 8 of your favorite players. Like, for example, you could have the touchdown scores are going crazy right now. You just choose Amon-Ra St. Brown more than half a touchdown, more for Dave Montgomery, half a touchdown. You get more or less in the predicted stats, and in Sleeper, you can get up to 1,000x payouts. Share with your friends, get rewarded together. Use the code CT Sports to get a $100 deposit matched up to $100. Shout out to them for sponsoring, as always. Let's get back to the show, and we got to welcome in our special guest here. Talk some ball with. He is just a unique specimen with a lot of opinions. All right, he is just he's a very special friend of ours. We missed him last week, and he's back this week to talk some ball. Lions coming off a massive win. The Tigers absolutely crumbling. Former host of the Morning Woodward Show and Wake Up Woodward, one of the best, man. Mr. Flannel Sam. Flannel, how we doing, my friend?
Hey, what's up, fellas? Sorry I was a little bit late on this one, but I'm glad to be with you guys again. This is fun, even though the Tigers are. I got one eye on the score. I'll just say that, but hopefully they wrap up.
Hey, Flannel. Before we get to the Tigers, which it's been absolutely disgusting. What are your thoughts, man, on this Monday win? The Lions dominate the Ravens. You had AQM, all-time great AQM, 2.5 sacks against the Ravens. Aiden Hutchinson, your guy.
There we go, or Flannel. Let's go.
You had some things happen. They took care of the Ravens. Very good team. What'd you think of the performance overall, Flannel? What are your takeaways?
Well, I feel like this is something that has been talked about amongst all of Detroit sports media, but I'm just going to reiterate it. It was the best regular season win I can remember as a Lions fan. They played about as perfect of a game as I've ever seen them play. I mean, just think about it. When I list all of this, the Lions had 7 sacks by 6 different players. Jared Goff didn't get sacked once. So pretty much everything the Lions did amazing and spectacular, the Ravens did the inverse. The Lions had 224 rushing yards and 4 rushing touchdowns, including a $150 by Monty. The Ravens combined for 85 rushing yards between Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, which we would have taken any day of the week, and I don't think any of us thought that was possible. Jared Goff to Amon-Ra St. Brown was surgical. The Lions were 3 of 3 on 4th down, including to ice the game, and the Ravens' only 4th down opportunity, they got stuffed at the goal line. Of course, that great sack fumble by Jack Campbell on Lamar Jackson. I mean, Penei Sewell, for how great he is, we all know that he's a gold jacket guy, future one of the best tackles in the game, the best tackle in the game. He posted, and say what you want about PFF, the highest single game run blocking grade in PFF history.
That's insane.
Tate Ratledge had a PFF grade over 90. AQM obviously was spectacular with a 2.5 sacks. I didn't think the Lions were capable of a regular season performance this great and this dominant. It wasn't as close as the final score indicated. There's really nothing you can complain about. And for the record, if you're one of those people who are fine with what the Lions did with the edge room, you can take your victory lap this week. I won't fight you. AQM was spectacular. They got pressure from linebackers, Hutch. Perfect game. Perfect regular season football game.
Do you like Johnny Morton now, Flannel? Are you all in on John Morton?
I mean, I was never out on John Morton per se, but yeah, sure. I never thought that he was going to be bad or anything. I just had some questions after week 1, but he's answering them. I mean, this is a great offense with a lot of weapons, and John Morton, he's dialing some things up, and I love to see it.
Yeah, Johnny Moe, man. They've scored 90 points last 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I mean,
crazy.
Johnny Moe's cooking with grease. And you have players like David Montgomery that rush for 13 yards a carry just against, which is just absolutely ridiculous. I do want to ask you just the Amon-Ra St. Brown thing, because I think we had this conversation. And I think a take that I actually don't mind right now, to be honest. And I know some takes you hear, you're like, I don't think there's only one other quarterback wide receiver duo right now, playing right now, that I think is on the same level as Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown. And you could argue Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jared Goff are the number one quarterback wide receiver duo playing right now. But it's Matthew and Puka. But that's the only one I could think of, Sam, because Joe's out. So I can't say, Joe's not playing right now, because when they're healthy, Joe and Jamar are obviously incredible. But what have you thought of just that Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown connection? Because it seems like whenever they need a play, I mean, you're talking about impactful plays. 4th down goes to Amon-Ra. Touchdowns go to Amon-Ra. 1st downs go to Amon-Ra. I mean, the guy's, he can't be guarded. He can't be guarded.
When you think about it, let's just, hate to use this phrase, I'm borrowing it from one Neil Rule. Let's just work backwards. Justin Jefferson, the best receiver in football, but it's like a carousel of quarterbacks. I mean, it's been Sam Darnold. It's been Kirk Cousins. This year, J.J. McCarthy, and now Carson Wentz. You look at Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow's unfortunately out. I think Puka Nacua and Matthew Stafford, that's a good one. I know a lot of people aren't going to like this. I think you still have to give some consideration to Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown, just because I think when it comes to the pantheon of quarterbacks and wide receivers, I think Jared and Jalen are close. I think A.J. and Amon-Ra are close. Tyreek Hill has has Tua Tagovailoa, no. CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott, no. So you're not off base at all. I can't really think of anybody else I'd add to that conversation.
All right, just making sure. Hey, AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts. When AJ gets targeted, all right.
Yeah.
I mean, they barely use the guy, man.
Last week they did.
I want to ask you this, Flannel, because this is a conversation that we've had. Actually, never mind. I'm not going to get into this.
Let's get into this.
No, I just don't want. I don't want to get in back and forth with Flannel about the Jalen Hurts conversation. It literally will go nowhere. It will just argue back and forth. There's going to be no right or wrong. I know how this goes.
Okay.
Like Flannel, you know this because we did it in the group chat with Klotz and me and you on I don't know what day it was, Tuesday or something or Sunday. We don't need to get into it. We do have though a good segment today, Flannel.
No.
I mean, what do you want me to say? Jalen Hurts isn't a top 5 quarterback, and people think that he is. He's not. He's just strictly not.
Where would you rank Jalen Hurts in not NFC, just in general? Sam?
8 to 10. I think that's fair. If you don't throw for 3,000 yards, you don't deserve to be in. He threw for what or 4,000. Like you have to. Like I get it. You can win game. He's just not like a pure quarterback. He's just not that. And like Lamar, he has ground game, but guess what he does? He can also sling it. Like Patrick Mahomes has ground game. He can sling it. Josh Allen has ground games, can sling it. Like Jalen Hurts can sling it, but we're talking about a guy that's never gone over 3,400 yards in his career, has never thrown for more than like 22 touchdowns or 23. Like you should never be in a conversation with guys like Patrick Mahomes, Jaden Daniels, Josh Allen. Like you should never. Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson. You should never be close to that conversation. Never.
Well, I don't think he's in the conversation with most of the guys you just mentioned, except for Jaden Daniels. I would put Hurts and Daniels pretty close because what Jaden Daniels did was
zero chance. Talent-wise, it's not close. Talent-wise, not close. Not even close. Nine-day difference.
Here's the thing, though. This is where I disagree with a lot of what you said. People disrespect Jalen Hurts' resume. I laid it out there in the chat. I'll just do it again very, very quickly.
Adam Vinatieri has a great resume too. Is he one of the best like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of resumes out there.
Adam Vinatieri is the best kicker in NFL history.
All right, that was a bad example. That was a bad example, Flannel. What about Nick Foles? Nick Foles has a great resume.
No, but Nick Foles never had a second in MVP voting, which was Jalen Hurts.
But again, remember what I texted? Actually, I texted you this at the end of the conversation, and no one replied. Not one person. But I was like, Jalen Hurts the last two seasons hasn't even been top 10 in MVP votings. Not top 10. Like you would think if this guy's a top 5 quarterback or a top 7 quarterback, he would get a vote. He has not been in the top 10. Baker Mayfield's been in the top. I could go down the line. There has been like 13 quarterbacks in the last 2 years that have been in the top 10. Not one of them was Jalen Hurts in MVP voting. Not one.
But Jalen Hurts was also the Super Bowl MVP. And
that's cool too. So was Nick Foles when they won the Super Bowl.
But Jalen Hurts, and I said this in the group chat as well, and I know people are going to say, oh, but the tush push, bro.
It is a tush push.
Jalen Hurts, along with his passing numbers, which are fine, not spectacular, but they're fine enough, leads the entire bleeping NFL in rushing touchdowns.
You can't say that's such a stat without context. Everyone knows when you say that stat, everyone knows he steals touchdowns from the tush push. And it's not a bad thing. Like you can use it, but when you use that stat, you make it sound like he's out here being like Lamar Jackson running for 30-yard touchdowns, which he does. He can. He did it week 1. He had 2 of them. But he's leading the NFL in rushing touchdowns because the tush push. That's it. Like there needs to be an asterisk next to it.
Well, but I'm talking.
I think that's fair. That's not a bad thing.
But here's the thing: I'm not talking about amongst quarterbacks. I'm talking about the entire NFL.
I know.
That's because Derrick Henry.
Tush push. It's because the tush push.
He's also a big reason why the Eagles constantly get the ball to the 1 yard line. I'm just saying.
No, that's Saquon Barkley who runs the ball and gets tackled at the 1.
Year. What about 2022 when Jalen Hurts was second in MVP voting? There was no Saquon Barkley.
Jalen Hurts, I think, has 50-something touchdowns within 1 yard in his career. That has not it's amazing because he's so big and you can just push him in there. But that's not like hey, I'm talented. I'm running the ball for 100 yards a game and getting a touchdown. And at the same time, he's not rushing like that, and he's also not getting passing yards. So it's like he's not even breaking 1,000 rushing yards like Lamar or Josh Allen, but he's also not passing anywhere near them. So it's just like he's just benefiting off a very, very good roster and off Howie Roseman.
Well,
you know what, Flannel? You should be giving Howie Roseman credit over Jalen Hurts, to be honest.
Howie Roseman gets a ton of credit. That's the best or second best organization in football to the Eagles or the Chiefs. It's a complimentary thing. It's just that when you look at Jalen Hurts' resume, I think it gets disrespected.
Yeah, a lot of guys have resumes.
2 spectacular Super Bowl performances, a Super Bowl MVP, and a top 2 in MVP voting, and the most rushing touchdowns in the NFL since 2021. Those are all things Jalen Hurts does.
But there's context to all of those things.
Okay,
he hasn't been in the
that's a lot of
MVP
things.
conversation. He hasn't been in the top 10 in the MVP in 3 years. He has the tush push. He's 1-1 in the Super Bowl. Like
1-1 in the Super Bowl. What a bum, right?
No, I didn't say he's a bum, but that's just context. He's lost one of them.
One of them.
And like Super Bowl MVP is good, but like Saquon Barkley carried them all the way to the Super Bowl. That's also asterisks next to Jalen Hurts.
Jeez, you just really don't like Jalen Hurts, and that's okay.
No, he did. No, it's literally Flannel. It's a fact that Saquon Barkley carried them through the playoffs all the way until the Super Bowl.
Saquon Barkley was the MVP
that's a
of
fact.
the team. That's factual.
Thank you. That's all. So Jalen Hurts is probably like 8 to 9.
But Jalen, I think Jalen he's a quarterback that he is a winner. Like he knows if you put a great team around him, he can win you a lot of games. I think he should get respected. I just think when it comes to, I lean more with Booner to where I don't want to disrespect him, but when we're talking quarterback rankings, he should probably be, in my opinion, I would say if you're talking about a top 10 list, probably back half of that, maybe like 7, 8, something like that. I don't think I know people in the chat, some people say he's a top 5 quarterback. I don't think he is personally, but I don't want to come at the accomplishments in terms of him winning. He can win games if you give him the talent. We've seen quarterbacks more talented not be able to win with good teams. So I have to give him credit there. But yeah, I agree. I do lean with more Booner with the passing yards thing. I just think that's like, if you're playing the quarterback position, like Lamar Jackson's been one of the more incredible players when it comes to like growing in that area. I mean, he's passed for over 4,000 last year and he's still rushing for 800. He's still, there's levels. And I think he's probably a top 6 to 10 guy in the league. Probably.
And I have Lamar Jackson over Jalen Hurts in the quarterback rankings, just so you guys know.
Yeah, that wasn't more.
Where do you have Jalen Hurts? I'm interested.
I think that's more people that say he's top 5. That's why I wouldn't put him in that conversation.
I got Jalen Hurts at 5 right now. I do.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
All right, you just put him at 5. Never mind.
That's Allen, like Lamar, Burrow, and then Hurts. And then closely behind are guys like Herbert and
I would rather have Herbert, Jaden
Daniels, Goff. I mean, they're all kind of in that like 5 to 9 range. I've just got Jalen Hurts at the top of those right now.
If you put, I think like a good thing to do with this, like, and I think this is dead serious. Like, if you put Jalen Hurts on like the Chargers, he's not getting close to what he's done on the Eagles, like what Justin Herbert's doing. He just doesn't have that type of talent. He's good, but he's not like, he doesn't have, in my opinion, what Justin Herbert has or what. And if you threw him on the Commanders, he's not doing what he's doing on the Eagles. He's a different player than Jaden Daniels. They're two different players. Jaden Daniels is way more elusive, explosive. He's a playmaker. He can throw, he can run. Like, you have to game plan against him. If you're a team going up against Jalen Hurts, you're really not game planning against Jalen Hurts. You're game planning against Saquon Barkley and A.J. Brown and the tush push. You're not like, we need to stop Jalen Hurts tonight. That's probably low on your list.
Hey, but Jalen Hurts, when it was winning time against the Rams,
he made throws.
He did.
That's where it's like I respect. That's why he's top 10. He does make the throws when it comes down to it. He benefits off situation. He really does.
Oh, Weezy D says, Jeff, please move on. Crazy Hurts 8. Appreciate the $2. Crazy D. Can we? I do want to get to Flannel's.
Give me Baker over Hurts.
I need like a good Flannel. I mean, something's been pissing you off. Like what's pissing Flannel off nowadays? Like I'd like to know. Like what are things on your mind? Just I need a Flannel rant.
All right. I don't know if it's going to necessarily be a rant, but there's something actually involving our Detroit Lions that is been making me a little irritated for a while, and it's continuing to rear its ugly head. I mentioned that the Lions played practically a perfect game, and I stand by that. However, I really, really don't like what I've seen pretty much his entire career from one Mr. Terrion Arnold. And one thing I dislike more than what I've seen from Terrion Arnold are his legion of groupies who want to gaslight me and others into thinking that he's been good. And I've even heard some people say he had a great rookie season and whatnot. And I say to that, that is an absolute crock of crap. If you want to tell me that his rookie year, there was some context and that he showed some flashes and he got better down the stretch, I actually predicted that he would bounce back and have a better year in his second year, but so far it just hasn't happened. People literally put Terrion Arnold when they talk about Brad Holmes' first-round draft picks. They'll be like, oh, Penei Sewell, Aiden Hutchinson, Jamison Williams, Jahmyr Gibbs, Jack Campbell, Terrion Arnold. And I'm like, how dare you? TA is not a part of those conversations yet. I'm not even sure if he's good. I'm not saying he's necessarily catastrophic to where he's unplayable. However, did we happen to see how Terrion Arnold's usage is going to be adjusted a little bit in favor of Amik Robertson? All I'm saying is that Terrion Arnold is closer to being Terrion Okuda than he is to being even DJ Arnold or Carlton Arnold. He's not good. Not saying he's a bust forever, but he has not been good, and I'm tired of the groupies, people acting like he's been good or something. He never has been, and I've got numbers to back that up if you care for me to list them in a minute or two.
Is it so? Do you have his numbers? Genuinely asking. First half Ravens, second half Ravens.
Well, I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about all encompassing because obviously in the second half he was better. I'm talking more about the benefit of the doubt that he got for his rookie season that I don't think he earned. And all I ever hear about is how, oh my goodness, rookie corners, they never do well. It's always a struggle with them. However, when you look at guys like Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, Nate Wiggins, Kamari Lassiter, Mikey Sandristil, Kool-Aid McKinstry, Renardo Green, Andrew Phillips, and Tarheeb Still, every single one of them had better passer ratings when targeted as rookies last year than Mr. Terrion Arnold. And you look at guys like Quinyon and Cooper. Quinyon had 2 playoff interceptions. Cooper obviously had the playoff pick 6. Kamari Lassiter had a playoff interception. Mikey Sandristil had 2 against the Lions. You look at guys like Tarheeb Still and Sandristil and Kamari Lassiter had multiple interceptions in the regular season. Nate Wiggins had 1. All I'm saying is that it's not impossible for a rookie corner to come in and play well. And don't get me wrong, some of these guys this year are struggling, as is Terrion, by the way. But Terrion Arnold in 2024 had a 99 passer rating when targeted. So far in 2025, it is 122. Terrion Arnold can be good someday, but it's just not right now, and I don't understand why he has a legion of groupies.
A legion of groupies.
Yes, he has a legion of groupies. Trust me.
It's crazy. I mean, I'll say this about Terrion's rookie year. I wouldn't say his rookie year was. I know people say, he played a little better at the end, but it wasn't great. But I think the reason why I'm willing to give him a little more grace, though, Flannel, because your point, you're not arguing that he won't improve and he'll be fine. You're arguing the people defending him, right? That's the problem you have. Just making sure it's clear, right?
Well, it's the people that act like he doesn't have to improve and that he's been good so far. He needs to take a big leap in order for him to be that first round draft pick that he was drafted to be. I'm not saying he can't. I'm just saying that the people act like he's already arrived. He has not arrived, not even close.
Because I would say for me and Booner talked about this earlier, and I think it's like Darius Slay was a second round pick. So I get the pick selection thing. I mean, he was a late first, but still a first round pick. Darius Slay was benched in his second year, which I know people bring up, but Darius Slay was also a year older. So that's why I think the second half of the Ravens game to me gives me a little more positive for him. I think I think after this season, you'll have a better grasp of where he's at. But to your point, people that are excusing everything, that's a problem. I think you have to have standards with these guys. Like if you're a first round pick, you're going to have different standards than someone in the third round, for example, like Isaac Tesla.
Sure.
It's not going to be the same standard as a first round pick. It's just how it works. So I'm with you.
Yeah.
If there are people out there, I've seen it. I guess I have seen it. People a little more, they're excusing a little too much. then I get what you're saying.
No, and I want to respond to this one comment. Been a while since I've done this. Stain Vivian, how can somebody evaluate someone skilled just on interceptions? Did you not hear the beginning? I talked about a stat that I value way more. Passer rating allowed when targeted. And once again, Terrion Arnold had a worse passer rating when targeted last year than Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, Nate Wiggins, Kamari Lassiter, Mikey Sanderstill, Kool-Aid McKinstry, Renardo Green, Andrew Phillips, and Tarheeb Still. 9 guys. And I get it. 2 of those guys, Cooper DeJean and Andrew Phillips, were more slot corners. So fine, I'll give you that. But all of these guys played starter level snaps. Some of them, like I think Quinyon and Mikey Sanderstill actually played more than Terrion. I know Mikey Sanderstill did, but these are all rookies who came in with all different situations, all different circumstances, and performed better number-wise than Terrion Arnold did last year. That's all I'm saying. So if you think I'm just talking about interceptions, Quinyon Mitchell didn't have an interception last year in the regular season, and I still glaze his rookie season. It's not all about interceptions. Listening comprehension is a thing, my dude.
Yeah. Hey, listen to the man.
Yeah. Hey, Flannel, can I get Tigers won? Can I get your thoughts on that? What's going on with the what's been your thoughts on the collapse here with the Tigers? Once we get Flannel, I don't know if we just lost Flannel.
Oh no, did we lose Flannel?
Right before he was about to give his thoughts on the Tigers with this Riley Green jersey on. If we did, he's appalled. He's absolutely
he froze as soon as you said to that guy.
Yeah, that's tough. Well, if Flannel, I think let's wait a second because he might be. I think he might have lost Sam Flannel. I mean, it's tough. We love Flannel, and probably his internet lagged out. We're gonna be joined by Chris Castellani in a couple of minutes here. We're gonna bring him on because the Tigers did win. They did beat the Guardians.
Big win.
Yeah, massive win. It's like the Kevin Garnett. Anything is possible. Tigers finally won a fucking game. All right, let's bring on Chris. By the way, host of Chris and Company, media personality, one of the best in the business, good friend of ours. Let me change this up for him. All right, Chris, how we doing, my friend?
What's going on, gentlemen? It has been a very draining week emotionally with my baseball team, but happy to be on here. And this is, I mean, dude, I've probably done in the last 2 weeks. I've probably been made appearances on like 9 or 10 different shows, and this is, I think, the first time in which I've come on after a Tigers win. So nice juxtaposition as we kind of break down the latter stretch of the season.
Chris, I heard you on like Cleveland shows and radio shows. You've been killing it, dude.
Yeah, well, they were shit talking me, so I called into their show, and then I won them over. It was wonderful. No, it was a lot of fun. It was cool. I understand it obviously with the division rivalry. Even going back to like my college days, I've always had a really good, like strong, like good fan base in Cleveland. So I always appreciate, kind of shooting things up with them. It's been a lot of fun.
I mean, shout out. I think that's one of the rare compliments of Cleveland I've heard in a while. I think Chris Castellani showing love to Cleveland. Let me. So I guess it's good to kind of catch up with you. It's been a while since we last talked to you. The win today we can get into in a second. But can I just get your overall thoughts on the stretch of baseball? Like just overall thoughts on the stretch of baseball we've seen with the Tigers. How depressing it's been. I know Booner brought up yesterday how depressing it's been and how historic it's actually been for the wrong reasons. But can we just about what led to today, them winning today, but all the shit that's transpired before today? Can I get your thoughts on that?
Yeah. I mean, and I'm glad they won today. Obviously, my feelings haven't changed. Okay, you know what they did today? They struck out 10 times. They left 1 million guys on base. The exact same stuff they've done for the last 2 weeks, 2 months, even. So it's like it's not much, that a whole lot has changed. Look, man, it's been a nightmare, and it's been completely depressing. And it's one of those things where I think, and I get this. It's just the way it goes. So much focus is going to be on the way that this team performed in these 6 games against Cleveland, going 1-5, losing 3 games at home, having their divisional lead shrink. I mean, just almost in an instant, this kind of slow death, so to speak. What is more frustrating to me is that there was many an opportunity in the second half of the season to put this division away, not allow those games against Cleveland to matter. And I think that this team really did a poor job of playing with their food. I think that, you look at a sweep against Pittsburgh, a series loss against the White Sox, you lost a series against the Marlins on the road. I think that set up what has been this kind of knockout punch that Cleveland's been able to land over the last few weeks, because at the end of the day, look, we can, Cleveland's got the weird run differential and the low batting average, but I really am a believer in this game of, the matchups and opponents, and Cleveland knows full well how to beat this team. And I'm not saying that I saw this coming, but I knew that we were going to be kind of sweating it out because, Cleveland kind of has the book out of how to beat Detroit. It's been disastrous. The only silver lining, at least right now, is the fact that there does seem to be a pathway to get to October. I mean, missing the playoffs would be completely devastating. They were able to get off the mat tonight, but it's been so historic and so brutal that you can't pin it down to one particular thing. And I think that's what has the fan base so frustrated. I can't specifically say it's the hitting because they'll have a night where they hit and then don't pitch. I can't say it's specifically the pitching. I can't say it's specifically the front office. Everyone has a role in this team's failure the same way that everyone had a role in their success in the first 100 games. So, I mean, it's been brutal.
Yeah, Chris, one of my biggest things with this whole kind of collapse that's been going on, and I talked about it yesterday. We had the conversation with Caleb, who hopped on for a little bit. I don't I understand there's still games left. You still have 3 games left, magic number 2 to get in, and then obviously, hopefully, there's still playoffs, so you're still playing meaningful baseball. Mm-hmm. But let's say we just get past that, right? Like the off season. How do you even address? Because this isn't something that's just like happening. You're like. As a franchise and organization, how do you even address this offseason? Do you let people go? What moves do you make? Because it feels like, and I think maybe, I don't know how you feel about it, but like with the fan base, it feels like after this collapse, the fan base does feel a little lost. And like you said, it's like the hitting, the pitching. Like, do you change some coaches? Do you get new? It feels like such a spot. Like it might be a worse spot. I know it sounds selfish because we were bad for so long, but it's like this might be like the purgatory. Like, what do we do? And I think everyone's mind's kind of in a pretzel. Like, do they fire someone? Like, something has to be done because it was such a bad collapse. What do you think happens? And let's say you were the GM or the owner. What would you do?
Look, there's what I would do, and there's what I think is going to happen. And I'm speaking based on what I know about this organization, the people that are in this organization. Number one, anybody expecting a major shakeup, which I think amongst the fans would be AJ Hinch getting let go, Scott Harris getting let go, Chris Ilitch selling the team. None of those things, I believe, are going to happen. I think when they look within the big evaluation that they're going to have, and we've seen this really kind of come to fruition over the last few months, Scott Harris has been a broken record with his insistence that the number one goal of this organization is to acquire, draft, and develop players who control the strike zone. Over the last few months, deep into the second half, even your best players have shown a remarkable inability to do that, meaning that up to this point, we'll see what's going on in the minors with McGonigal and those guys. I think that it's completely different. But at the major league level, you don't have the dominant strike zone guys that you want. Riley Green strikes out all the time and has a relatively low on base, so you can take your pick. Dingler hasn't walked, Torque. I mean, all these guys. I think that the bigger evaluation will be, what do we have to do to either one, figure out a way to get these guys owning a strike zone again, or two, going out and acquiring some players who are able to do that. Now, you had a win in this most recent free agency period where you went out and you got Glaber and you got Jahmai Jones, these guys who have been, high on base guys that have controlled the zone pretty consistently. I also think, and I talked about it with Cody Stavenhagen on Chris and Company today, it's a conversation not a lot of people are going to want to hear, but I think the possibility of trading Tarek Skubal is more on the table than it's ever been at this point, because you have a year of him left. And my stance on this has been very consistent, which is, if you feel like you have a roster that is good enough to win a World Series or make a deep playoff run with Tarek Skubal on it, you keep him. I don't care if you lose him in free agency. You got to take advantage of the opportunities you have. I think these last several months have exposed some very serious holes in the roster that you can't plug in one offseason unless you make a very dramatic move. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm saying that it's something that could seriously be under consideration given the way that this team has fallen apart down the stretch here.
I just want to ask, what percentage do you think there is for a chance that Scott Harris and Illich, that they actually are like, hey, we'll pony up some money this offseason and we will make some of these big moves? Do you think that after this collapse, they're finally like, oh, maybe we messed up at the trade deadline. Maybe in the last we should have spent more money.
I think what is more likely is we see them go the route that they went with Colt Keith several years ago and really make an attempt to lock down the young players that they have. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. I know how crazy it sounds, but we've seen it with other organizations before. I think they are so confident in the triage of guys that they have down in the minors with Clark, McGonigal, and Briseño, that one or more of those guys could get a contract extension and a pay increase before they even step on a major league field, just because they do not want to, with position players, run into the same problem that they ran into with Skubal, where a guy is so good that he kind of pays himself out over time or becomes too expensive. I think that's been their number one goal from the beginning. I don't know if there's anybody on the active roster that you feel great about extending right now. I mean, Green's had a bad second half. Tork's had a fine year, but I don't know if he's a long-term piece. I think that there will be an attempt to try to lock guys up long-term, whether it be guys who are on the major league roster right now or, ruminating down in the minor leagues. But the $200 million deal to lock up a, 100 RBI a year guy, you guys know what I want. I don't think that they're going to do that. I don't think they view that as a good business practice. We could argue about that forever, but I think that they are going to remain consistent with what their goal is here.
And Chris, me and Booner talked about this too. Like, making the playoffs is one thing, and we were talking to Caleb about this during our watch party, what his preference would be, and he obviously wants him to make the playoffs. This was obviously before the win today. He said, my preference is still to make the playoffs, and me and Booner are bringing up, like, okay, you make the playoffs, then what? Are you okay still with the disappointment making the playoffs, or would you rather just them, shit the bed and just basically sit in it all after this losing streak? Now that, they're a team that could still make the playoffs. What's like a fair expectation for a team? You mentioned there's hard to pinpoint a problem with this team. And I know last year the playoff stretch was miraculous. It was awesome. Yeah. It was fun. It was great. But even if they get into the playoffs, it's like, what's a fair expectation for this team? It's like they're playing like a team that's going to be a first round bounce team. What do you kind of make of it? What's a fair expectation from your point of view? Could they turn it around and play better, or is it something that could still linger into the playoffs and they could still play like shit?
Yeah, and that's it. Could it? Yes, I've been very consistent with this take for a long time, and there's endless years of data that kind of reflect this. There's really no correlation between how a team is playing coming into October and how they play in October. We've seen a lot of weird things happen in this sport. Teams that were struggling mightily, that barely made the postseason, and they went on deep runs. Teams that, the team that has the most regular season wins in a season ever didn't even make it to the World Series. Like, a lot of weird things happen by the time you get to the postseason. The irony in all of this is that right now, and I think that this is still the case with the Tigers win tonight, the irony in all this is that the way it sets up currently is that you'd be playing Cleveland in the first round of the postseason. And let's say, and so in that best 2 out of 3. So let's say that you end up, this collapse becomes complete. Cleveland wins the Central, and you got to go to Progressive Field to play a best 2 out of 3 game series. Well, let's say you win that series. At that point, who cares about the collapse? Really, it's kind of just a footnote in history. I think that last season they won a series. I think the expectation for this campaign was see if you can make it farther than you did last year. I think the last few weeks or even months have greatly lowered those expectations, and the flaws have become more and more apparent. It's hard for me to put out what a reasonable expectation is. The one thing I can say, the team we've seen in the second half, that team's not winning anything. They're going to have to revert back to just some semblance of what we saw in the first half of the campaign for us to feel good about how they're playing. But, you're taking a 162 game sample size, or look at how many games they've lost to Cleveland. It doesn't matter. You just got to win 2 at their place potentially in the postseason for all of this to kind of be null and void. So it's very tough because this team has been so bipolar. I mean, they're bipolar in between innings. There's innings where they'll look great, and then the next frame they'll give up a lead. So it's almost impossible for me to figure out what to expect. But I can say that the end of the story definitely hasn't been written. As bad as they've played, I've seen weirder things happen in this game, and teams get to October and get hot.
Chris, I just want to make sure I'm correct on this. Say they win the next 2 games, the 2 of the 3, Cleveland wins 1 of their 3, then we'll be playing at Comerica Park, correct?
Correct. Yeah. So basically, there's a lot of variables to take into account here. And the big one is the fact that Tarek Skubal will be available to pitch the final day of the regular season. And potentially, AJ could have a decision to make of what's more important. Is it having Tarek game one in the postseason, or is it winning the division? I think the answer would be having him game one of the postseason. At that point, they might do bullpen day, not necessarily punting the division, but we'll see how the math plays out. But essentially, if that situation that you just brought up were to work out that way, we're talking about the difference between playing that first series at Progressive versus playing that first series at Comerica Park.
Okay. I'm guessing Cleveland has a tiebreaker?
Correct. Yeah. So
Okay.
Detroit would need to, and there's no more game 163s. They give the tiebreaker goes to Cleveland. So Detroit would need to finish at worst a full game ahead of Cleveland in order to win this division. A tie with their records does nothing for them.
Okay, that's what I was trying to figure that out in my head today, and that kind of makes sense. I have heard about the 163. I would rather do the 160. I think that would be sick.
I always liked that. I always liked it as well, but at the same time, with there being 12 teams in the postseason now, it's like that's definitely that's I feel like that's not really possible at this point.
Yeah, that's fair. I do want to ask, like, let's say they go on this run and make the postseason here and win 2 of the next 3.
Mm-hmm.
Who are like, I'll just ask like for maybe 2 or 3 guys that you think need to step up for them to even have an opportunity to even, let's just say, compete versus the Guardians if that's who they play in the first round.
It's a really good question. I mean, the first guy I'm going to hone in on, and it might seem like an obvious answer, but it's Riley Green. I mean, I've said this in my post-game videos till I've just been blue in the face, but the fact is, when Detroit plays some of these really good teams, I'll just focus on Cleveland. I mean, Jose Ramirez just murders us. He just kills this team. It's terrifying every time he steps to the plate. The closest thing you have to that, or supposed to have to that, is Riley. He's your big run producer, 36 home run, 100-plus RBI guy. You can't have him striking out at a 40% clip if you want to make a deep run through the postseason. I also think that, and he had a great inning tonight to close things out, but one of the reasons why this thing has fallen apart is that one of your more reliable relievers and Will Vest completely fell off a cliff. I mean, they had 2 or 3 losses solely because he couldn't close out and or finish out games. If he is back to being the guy that we saw, after Finnegan was acquired, and you have this kind of vicious 1-2 punch in the back end of your bullpen, all of a sudden, things are kind of looking up again. The other big X factor is the health of Colt Keith, because, it's been, he has the back injury now. I think it was a rib injury. Inconsistent player, sure. But the amount of depth is very clearly exposed when he's not out there, because you're forced to do stuff like, play Trey Sweeney at short and stuff like that. I think that his emergence and his health could potentially be vital to this team's success. They got to get him back and hopefully get him right.
Yeah. But before we get you off, who do you have winning the World Series? Who do you have in it? Who do you have winning?
It's so tough. I will, and I'm literally contradicting myself, but I will base it on the teams that I think are playing the best right now. And I would say that I think the Mariners come out of the American League. National League is so tough. I think it's as wide open as it can possibly be. I'm going to, because of the strength of their pitching, despite having a major injury, I'm going to lean to the Philadelphia Phillies. I think that the Dodgers bullpen is kind of a mess. I'm not 100% sure about the Padres pitching. It's very open. I think there's 5 or 6 teams I could see making it, but they've been in the running for several years now. They have a ton of experience. They have some very good starting pitching and a good lineup. Given what I've seen in the latter part of the season, those are the 2 teams I think are coming into October probably feeling the best about themselves.
There you go. Love it. Shout out to you, Chris. Thanks for joining, my man. You guys
Appreciate
can check out Chris, of course, on YouTube, Host of Chris and Company. Give him his YouTube channel a subscription, and follow him on Twitter if you haven't already at Castellani 2014. Chris, we'll talk to you soon, my friend. Keep crushing it.
Of course, guys. Appreciate it.
There you go.
Thanks, Chris.
Good friend of the program there, Chris Castellani, joining. We got about 15 minutes. By the way, before we get to Mailbag, I got to say, JSN, I think, is dead.
Is 0 yards.
Which
I thought we would get something out of the guy.
No, it's something you
that's
just
ridiculous, dude. That's like embarrassing. Shout out to Chris though for hopping on. Chris is so like just so good. Like, yeah, and you know what? He helps me understand the game, especially when it comes to this Tigers collapse right now. Like the doc said it yesterday, like more calm. Where I when you see someone who's so invested be a little bit more calm, it helps calm you down. You know what I mean? I appreciate Chris for having that. Yeah, it's good. You need that in these moments. I think all Tigers fans need to hear that voice. Just to like him being like I love the fact that Chris is just like, if you get in the postseason, anything could happen. Like, and then that the collapse doesn't matter if you win, if you beat the Guardians. That fires me up. That makes that he made me believe. Like if they get in the playoffs, they win 2 games and get in the playoffs, I believe that they can beat the Guardians. I'm all in.
Yeah, it's interesting.
What are you laughing about? You don't think so?
No, I was going to mention, it's funny how he brought up like the decision AJ Hinch might have to make, where it's like you playing Scooball to win the division, or you playing them game 1 of the postseason.
Yeah, it is interesting. That is a very
actually, I didn't even you don't really think about that.
I'm with Chris too. I know you want to win the division, probably playing Comerica, but you probably want Scooball to start that series to try and go up 1-0.
Yeah, because they did it last year. I mean, and they were able to.
Yeah, versus Houston. They did versus Houston.
Yeah, and he started and ended up winning the series. So, yeah, I'm with you on that.
They have what it takes. It's just crazy because, like, they have what it takes because we saw it the first half of the season. It's not like Chris is right. It's like they have the bats and they have the pitching, but it's like they're on and off opposite days and just never. I mean, going on a 7-8 game losing streak before the postseason to almost miss the postseason, and you still have to get in. It's like it's ridiculous, dude. That's nuts.
I know we were talking earlier about Calvin saying how the players see social media. You don't think these guys?
For sure, dude.
See all the crap that's being put out there. I mean, it's ridiculous.
I wonder ever since we talked to Torque at the Rocket Mortgage Classic. I mean, maybe we cursed him.
That was like a little after that downfall.
It's such a good dude too, man.
Cool guy, yeah. Just watching some golf, man. Enjoying.
That's why I hate like these are just good dudes, like
great guys.
About Lil Jon. Lil Jon's performing in Arizona right now.
What?
Yeah, I've told you about my Lil Jon experience, didn't I?
Yeah. Well, you did, but I don't know if you said that on the show.
In Panama City, just somehow, some way, just there with my friends in Panama City for spring break at college, and just veer off of my friends. I just somehow just get thrown into this VIP section with Lil Jon. He's like performing at some like beach bar. It was unbelievable. I was like, how did I get here? My friends are like I don't know where they were. You know me. I mean, you've been with me sometimes. I just like to wander off. I'm a wanderer. We lost Booner. Where's Booner? Yeah. That's what happened that night. And I ended up wandering into hanging out with Lil Jon in the VIP section. Sick.
Yeah, I mean,
for a whole night too. It was like the whole night.
That experience with you in Nashville. I mean, we're at some I forgot what bar we were at.
Everyone.
The artist bar. Well, this specific example you did you did it a lot. But we'd just be like looking around and Boone's just gone. And then I find Boone like an hour later. I was worried the guy got like roofied and he's just passed out in the street. He's over there watching the band. He's just
live music. You guys are like, we're going to the floor with the DJ. I'm like, I'm sitting by the live music, and I talk to the band too. Like I'm like next to the band, talking to the band. I want to know, like, dude, where are you guys from? I probably met some superstars when we were in Nashville, and they're like giving me their numbers and their cards. I'm just talking to them normally. Like, hey, we do this. We have a show, a network, blah blah blah. Oh, let me give you my card, dude. If you need a band, hit me up. I probably got like the future Morgan Wallen's number in my phone right
now. Shout out Hodge, by the way. Mailbag, say that Trey McBride receptions was a good bet. It was a good bet. Now what we
JSN?
I'm not coming at Hodge though because I didn't expect that. I mean, I thought JSN was a lock, man. I mean, he's crap in the bed. So we can collectively agree if you guys want to make money, man, you need JSN to do something. So it's I'm surprised. I mean, the Cardinals are so bad, man. They're just
close game though.
They're stuck in mid. Oh, no. They're stuck in mid because of who they have at quarterback. Like,
what do you do though? Like, what do you do though? Do you just draft another first round quarter? I don't know. That's why it's just crazy. If you don't have a quarterback in this league, you just never know.
Compete.
Luckily, like the Lions have been lucky. I know people don't like Stafford, but we've had Stafford and Jared Goff. I know we haven't won a Super Bowl, but at least some years we've. Yeah, I take that back.
And Marvin Harrison Jr. has been super disappointing.
Very.
I mean, I'm shocked. I mean, I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
He was supposed to be like a top 5 receiver in the NFL.
Like right away.
Close, dude.
Yeah, I mean, Teddy, thank you for the $2. Says, what bands did you meet? Yeah, I don't think you probably met so many. I mean, they were intoxicated.
No clue, dude. I have no clue. They just kept giving me their number, and they just kept I just kept talking. I mean, I might have a business card on me. Let me see.
Appreciate the $2, Teddy. We appreciate it. He also says Marvin Harrison Jr. needs to get out of there. Yeah,
I don't even think I have any of those cards left. I just got some phone numbers from him. As weird as that sounds. You know,
this guy literally just got business cards from random bands in Nashville that are probably
dude, they were like talking to me about like Detroit, about what like somehow like our show and our company got brought up, and we're just having conversations. And these people, they're trying to build their careers out. They're like, hey, a bunch of them are like, we want to come up to Tin Roof and play in Detroit. I'm like, all right, let's do it. Let's set it up. I don't know anyone at Tin. I mean, we did our show there one time, but.
Yeah,
good people. I'm sure I met someone who at some point is going to be famous. I feel like every time you go to those, like that's how like young artists start. Like they have to start on Broadway and make your kind of way up. And they, we've probably definitely saw someone that's going to make a name for themselves at some point. And every single person we saw, I talked to.
By the way, Flannel Sam's internet went out, so that's why he dropped. His internet went out, so shout out Sam Flannel. He was battling, so he.
Hey, at least we got him for a little bit. That was thrilling.
Yeah, Flannel's the best, dude. He's awesome. He's going off about Terran Arnold, and he just drops from the show. I mean, we didn't even get his thoughts on the Tigers. It's okay.
Do we have any mailbag questions? Drop your mailbag questions.
Yeah, drop your mailbag questions. But yeah, Hanch, the last one I answered. Shout out to Hanch, man. Sorry for doubting you, Hanch.
Right, it was just, JSN. I mean, you never know. JSN could have one catch for 100 yards. Well, not 100, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like being a little, like, being extra, but I get what you're saying. Streams only says Mailbag. Why is Flannel Fridays now Flannel Thursdays? It's just a scheduling thing with Flannel. Some days it's just every week. We might have to just permanently move it to Thursday. I mean, we might just have to do that.
Yeah, it just depends.
Obviously, it doesn't have the same. It doesn't feel as sweet as Flannel Fridays, but just schedule wise, we have to line up with what Flannel's got. He's a busy man.
Flannel Friday Juniors.
Yeah, Flannel Friday. Flannel Friday on Thursday. It's like, I mean, that's really what it has been. But as long as we get to talk to Flannel, I don't give a shit when he joins. Hey,
I enjoy now the fact that we're able to chop it up about Jalen Hurts being in top 10 with Flannel.
I mean, look at we got Get a Boy One Mailbag. Let's just cancel Flannel. Dude is a Debbie Downer.
Whoa, come on.
No, he's not.
Get a Boy One. And even whether he is or he isn't, you got to be able to have all sorts of opinions, and especially in sports. I like people with, different opinions, and I mean,
he started off his segment by talking highly about the D-line and said, you guys can take your victory lap for those who doubted, Brad Holmes. And he was like pretty positive. And then people are like saying
he likes John Morton.
He said one bad thing, and that was Terran Arnold. And people were crapping. I think he's
and it wasn't even like that bad of a thing. I think it was something that we've all had conversations about.
Yeah, he just doesn't like the people that maybe have been excusing Terran Arnold, which I've seen a lot of people talk about that. A lot of fans. So I don't think he's alone on that. We let me see, streams only. I don't know. The D line still needs work. The Ravens O line's pretty bad. Define work. Needs work. I think when you talk about depth, for sure, streams only, I'm with you. But I think Hutch, healthy Aleem, Tyreek, DJ Reader, you're pretty comfortable with that. AQM, if he can just play at like maybe 70% of what he's doing, you're probably comfortable with that. I don't think he's going to play at the pace he's playing at now. So to your point, depth. Okay, fair. They need some depth. But I mean, to be honest, we've seen defensive lines play against bad O-lines and still not play well. So at least they took advantage. I mean, I don't care if it's bad or not. They got to work, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not at the point to where it's like they need work, but it's more so just I would like to see a few more weeks.
Well, look at Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett and the Browns, like, dude, Lamar torched him, scored 40, and they have pass rushers.
you still gave up 30 points. So it's like, I do want to see more. I'm not going to sit here and say, this is the thing where it was like with week 1, the offensive line and the D line looked terrible. Everyone's overreacting, saying season's over, right? Week 2, a little better. You played the Bears. Everyone's like, it's the Bears. Week 3, it's the Ravens. Now, you have 7 sacks, 34 pressures. Everyone's going to overreact. I'm more so on the side of, hey, I just want to see, let's see about 5-6 weeks of this, and then we can really give an evaluation on what this is like, especially that stretch of football versus the Chiefs, the Bucks. Like, we can keep going there. You want to be able to see versus some more contenders and see if this is a consistent thing or if it's going to kind of level out a little bit.
Yeah, like what streams on our third down defense, red zone, and points per game is really bad. Well, that's what Calvin talked about that. Like they still aren't even where they're trying to be. I mean, they're not happy. He's not happy with overall where they're at. He said there's been a lot of positive things, but he said there's still plenty more work to do. I mean, they got to get the points per game down. They scored, like you said, they scored 30. I mean, it's just what it is. The Bears scored 20-something points. The Packers put up almost 30 points.
Yeah, he said today. Shep said today, he was like, I told the defense that this week I want to see you guys stop a team. Like, I just point blank. Like, I want to see you guys dominate a team defensively. And this is the Browns offense that you can do it. Yeah, this is the offense that you were able, like Joe Flacco. They do have some weapons, but like Jerome Ford, Quinshon Judkins, I guess.
But still, they faced Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs. I mean,
they should be able to, this should be a week to where it's like, hey, let's prove ourselves that we're legit.
You know what I think too? Since you look at the edges. Actually, I was getting my haircut today. Shout out to Spencer, my barber. He actually brought this up. It was actually a great point. I'll give Spencer some.
Spencer throws some good points out there when he's coming.
He dropped the bar today. He said, big Demon game. I said, why is that? He said, well, think about it. They're going to have to go between the tackles because you're not rushing to the edge with Myles Garrett. So, and you look at Monty, another between the tackles guy. I said, yeah, and they're not a great rushing defense. So, not that Gibbs can't have a good game, but it could be another Monty game out here, man. Between the tackles.
I think it's going to be like a JMO game or something. I think once they get in that play action, if they're stopping the run, or like even a Sam Laporta game. I know last week I said it was I thought it was going to be a big Sam Laporta game. He did have like 3 or 4 catches for like 40 yards, but I think this might be the week that Sam Laporta gets in the. What did you call it last year? The pay dirt.
The pay dirt hits pay dirt. Yeah.
That's
you like that?
Dude. Yeah,
Teddy. It's not even. I didn't even make it. It's been that's why I was like.
Yeah, I know. I've never heard. That was the first time last year I've heard of it. I was shocked.
Teddy, appreciate the $2 to CJ. GJ traded 2 times, probably 15. Fifth team. Where next does he land? You see the Eagles come out and be like,
yeah, they cut him. They released him.
Well, no, the Texans released him, and then Nick Sirianni was asked about him coming back, and Nick Sirianni was like, I like our safety room. He basically was like, nah, like we're good. He's just.
I didn't know that.
I'm telling you, the Eagles are the only team that take headaches, like one of the only teams, and they don't even want him back.
CJ, he might end up just on like a non-contender, or he might not play the rest of the season and then end up
play. I don't know. I mean, I don't know
next year signing with like the Panthers.
I don't know who would take him, honestly. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, when you have issues like that, like I don't think he's like the worst player, but when you just have issues like a team to release you, I know they're 0-3, so they're probably not going to make the playoffs, but like the rumors, obviously, like Aaron Wilson. Shout out Aaron Wilson. I followed him for a while. I think I met him at the combine.
I follow him too. He's good at what he
does. Covers the Texans, and like he tweeted out and was like, "There's been stuff behind the scenes, like where he's disagreed with playing time and where he's been playing and different things. Like when you have issues like that, that's a whole nother thing, especially." If you left the Eagles and you had a bad situation when you left the Eagles, even though they won a Super Bowl, but do you remember like after he was like trash talking, saying all these different things, and then it was like similar thing with the Lions, like he left the line. Honestly, he's just had the same thing his career. Like the first time he left the Eagles and came to Detroit, remember he was like trashing Philly fans, and Philly fans were going at him, and then he was like, "I love Detroit, like I'm embracing it," and then he leaves Detroit, and then he's trashing Detroit fans and trashing Detroit, and then he goes back to Philly. Yeah, and then he goes back to Philly, and then Philly's like, we're done with him. We're trading him. And then when he gets traded, starts trashing them again. And then now all of a sudden he has his issue in Arizona. It's just like you can't – who wants you at that point? Like, I'm not – that's with all due respect. It's just – it's a headache at that point.
Only 32 teams, limited roster spots. I mean, each team keeps a couple safeties, 32 teams. Like, do the math. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of spots, man. I'll just tell you that.
I liked when CJ was here too. I liked CJ.
Yeah,
he was a fan of Woodward Knights. He tuned into Woodward Knights. People don't know that. He watched Woodward Knights. So I was like, hey, I remember I was battling when Easy was going at him. I was on his side. I said I was going at Easy.
I was going at Flannel. And now we just understand why that he gets a lot of shit. But we'll be back tomorrow, 8 o'clock. We got Pick'em tomorrow. We'll talk more Lions, Browns. Caleb's will be joining the program, at least I expected. And Teddy, appreciate the $2. The interview CJ did with Ryan Clark was not smart. No, it was not. And
I didn't even watch it, to be honest.
Yeah, he's kind of shot himself in the own foot. He's shot himself in his own foot. He just has. But we'll be back tomorrow, Teddy. Appreciate that. Appreciate the $2. Get your merchandise, FisherCitySports.com. Appreciate you all. Appreciate you all. Appreciate you all. See you tomorrow. Peace.
Love you guys.